God tier genius, building mechas starting from a repair shop. Welcome back, brave explorers of impossible worlds. We are excited to have you here to continue this odyssey together. Before we continue, everything you'll hear is pure fiction. So please don't try to replicate combat techniques at home. This wonderful story in all its rights belong to its brilliant original author. We are only the messengers of entertainment. Want another dose of adventure? Subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss a single chapter. And if you can't wait, our Patreon has exclusive surprises you'll love. Chapter 26. Forced relationships are never sweet, but they quench thirst. If there's nothing else, let's leave it at that. Fang Heng didn't have time to watch them all days. There was plenty of work to be done in the repair shop. No, something's up. Seeing that Fang Heng was about to log off, the professors all tried to stop him. The hatch is open now, and the person's been rescued. Holy crap, you guys don't expect me to pay for your mech hatch, do you? No, I meant it was just a piece of broken glass. Is it really that serious? Hearing this, the professor's brains, which had been gradually cooling down, suddenly started buzzing. PFFT, what? It was a glass door, no wonder it shattered so easily. But, PFFT. Otherwise, do you think I'm just a repair shop owner, not some machine factory? Where am I supposed to get all this material? Fang Heng said helplessly, pursing his lips. If he wasn't forced, do you think he wanted to use glass for the hatch? Choosing a glass hatch took a lot of brain power. Glass is fragile, so a hatch needs some kind of software protection. Simply put, it allows the mecha to dissipate force, similar to the idea of using a small force to move a great weight. Old Zheng glanced at his colleagues, and they all nodded. Young friend Fang Heng, would you be interested in being our colleague? No interest, go help them with research he could see through at a glance? Impossible. This was the second time Fang Heng had rejected Zheng Guojian. Just as Zheng Guojian was wondering what to say, another person moved. Old Zhou. He strode forward and said earnestly, Fang Heng, you don't need to rush to refuse us. Regarding compensation, you don't need to worry at all. The country will provide you and your family with the best research benefits. Furthermore, if you're willing to join us, we'll immediately apply to establish the Fang Heng Research Institute. All research projects within the institute will be led by you, and you won't be restricted by other research tasks. There, you'll receive unprecedented assistance. Whether it's manpower, resources, or any other resources, the country will provide for you as much as possible. This way, you can better and faster improve the mecha, and even develop even more powerful new gadgets. Right, if anyone else were present, they would be absolutely stunned. They never expected that 8 of the country's top professors would simultaneously invite a high school dropout, and offer such excellent conditions. It's no exaggeration to say that no one in Kyushu has been worthy of such conditions in recent decades. Of course, except for Fang Heng. It would be a lie to say that Fang Heng wasn't tempted. As Lao Zhou said, after joining them, Fang Heng wouldn't have to worry about resources anymore, and he'd have more people helping him. But, what bad intentions could an ordinary high school student like Fang Heng have? After dropping out of school, he was focused on helping his father manage the repair shop and making it bigger and stronger. Other things, to be honest, Fang Heng hadn't really thought about them. Sorry, I'm not really interested right now. How about I let you know when I am interested? That's all for now. Bye. Beep beep beep. Fang Heng went offline. Lao Zheng, what do you think about this? Lao Zhou turned to Zheng Guojian and asked thoughtfully. He's already rejected me twice. Maybe he really doesn't want to. Everyone has their own ambitions, and there's nothing we can do. After all, forced love isn't sweet. At this moment, Zheng Guojian's eyes had already dimmed, and it was clear that he genuinely hoped Fang Heng could join their research team. Indeed, forced love isn't sweet, but it can quench thirst? Upon hearing Lao Zhou's words, Zheng Guojian's pupils dilated instantly. Lao Zhou, what do you mean by that? Come here. Meanwhile, news and public opinion about Fang Heng's creation of the mecha were also sweeping across the globe. Jiazhao has truly created the first mecha on Earth. The Eastern Dragon is taking flight. Earth will enter a new era with the Jiazhao mecha. Attention, this is not acting. Jiazhao has really developed a mecha. Jiazhao technology versus Miguo technology. With the appearance of the mecha, Jiazhao technology is about to take off, and Miguo technology will ultimately be tarnished. Since the news spread, the entire Earth was in an uproar. Outside a palace in Meguro, groups of reporters thronged around. They were waiting for Meguo's official response. Your Excellency, what is your opinion on the aerial repair of mechas in Kyushu? Kyushu has become the first country on Earth to manufacture mechas. Will this damage the confidence of our Mi Kingdom's researchers? Do you agree with the view that the Eastern Dragon is taking off? Does the Mi Kingdom's Research Institute have any plans to recruit a genius youth from Kyushu? What kind of treatment will be offered? The Mi Kingdom's VIP had barely stepped out of the palace gates when he was surrounded by a swarm of reporters. All sorts of cameras and microphones were pointed at him. The guy in the lead had a large belly, and his beard was wildly unruly. He was the head of the Mi Kingdom. Ahem. Hey, it's just a figurine, isn't it? Why are you all making such a fuss? The people of the Great Mi Kingdom never envy others' technology, because our technology has always been at the very top of the blue star. I think you, as media people, especially those from Mi Kingdom, are unqualified. A high school dropout created a mecha. Ha ha ha. You're not afraid of being laughed at? Of course only idiots like you would believe that. As for what you just said about recruiting geniuses from Kyushu, wrong, completely wrong. Our Mi Kingdom is the birthplace of geniuses. Mi Kingdom research will not extend olive branches to those who try to take shortcuts. The Mi Kingdom leader was still immersed in his self-satisfaction when suddenly a sharp-tongued reporter had a flash of inspiration. He thrust a microphone forward. Everyone knows about that malfunctioning plane that was repaired in midair by mecha and successfully took off again. What explanation do you have for this? Chapter 27. Please listen to this. The thunder's rumbling. A sharp-tongued reporter thrust a microphone forward. Everyone knows about the incident in Kyushu where a malfunctioning plane was repaired in midair by mecha and successfully took off again. What explanation do you have for this? The head of the Meguo Kingdom puffed out his belly and said somewhat seriously, did you see it with your own eyes? You. Or you, who among you saw it on the spot? Oh. This barrage of questions left the reporters speechless. Because Meguo Kingdom and Kyushu were far apart, their past sources of information were the internet, and the internet was a mixed bag. No one could say for sure about the veracity of the information. Since none of you saw it with your own eyes, what makes you think it's true? Be careful, or I'll sue you for defamation, the head of Meguo Kingdom said, his voice rising and falling, while giving them a warning look. He really regretted not having arranged for these reporters to come. Now they were making a ruckus here. So annoying. That video from Kyushu is just movie special effects, like our Captain America here. If the special effects are good, science fiction can become reality. As reporters from the Mi Kingdom, you're the eyes of the Mi Kingdom people. You can't even tell the difference, can you? But if we accept what you're saying, sir, isn't Kyushu's film quality catching up with our Mi Kingdoms? Will future Kyushu films shake our Hollywood's position? PFFT. Fuck, you bunch of sons of bitches. Damn it, you should know you're standing on Mi Kingdom soil. A flash of anger crossed a Mi Kingdom leader's eyes, but no one noticed. No, that's impossible. I suspect the special effects in that Kyushu movie were done by our film technicians at a high price. If that weren't the case, Kyushu filmmakers shouldn't have been able to create such special effects so quickly. Look at every shot, it has the flavor of our Mi Kingdom sci-fi movies. PFFT. Some of the more open-minded reporters couldn't help but laugh after hearing these words. How could the leader be so shameless? Since we're on the topic, let me take this opportunity to announce something. Our Mi Kingdom will soon be able to launch real mechas, Mi Kingdom branded mechas, real mechas. After saying this, the Mi Kingdom leader made a tactical retreat, quickly returning to a certain palace. His entourage followed suit. Holy crap, what's going on? I vaguely remember the leader saying that even the Mi Kingdom would need decades to develop mechas. How come it's happening so suddenly now? Damn, this news is explosive. Your Excellency, what do you mean by that? Has the Lost Kingdom already developed mechas? But why didn't the authorities reveal anything before? Your Excellency, when will the mechas be unveiled? Your Excellency, reporters swarmed forward. If it weren't for the security guards at the palace gates, they would have definitely fought the Lost Kingdom's leader for 300 rounds. Inside the palace, the Lost Kingdom's leader was extremely angry. Fuck, damn it, fuck, this news spread so fast. Fuck, that guy from Kyushu, it must be that guy. The Lost Kingdom's leader was furious, and his words were somewhat incoherent. Your Excellency, this is the internet age, everyone can go online. Shut up, Do I need you to remind me? Do I look like I need you to remind me? The Lost Kingdom's leader's beard was almost touching the face of the high-ranking official who had just spoken. Right, this is the internet age, the head of the Mi Kingdom said somewhat calmly. Go notify MB Technology Airlines and have them send someone to recruit Fang Heng immediately. They need to be quick, really quick. Kyushu is probably already planning something. Remind them not to send any Tom, Dick, or Harry. Don't say they look down on us. I don't expect anything from people like that. At this moment, a high-ranking official wearing gold-rimmed glasses cautiously reminded him, Your Excellency, MB Technology Airlines has already sent someone to talk to Fang Heng, but they were humiliated by him. He deserved it. The head of the Mi Kingdom was furious. The official in gold-rimmed glasses was truly ungrateful, walking right into the line of fire. I told you not to send any Tom, Dick, or Harry. Do you think I don't know he sent Pete? Who is that? If they hadn't wanted him as a shield, would those guys at MB Technology have made him a shareholder? If they hadn't considered him an idiot, he definitely wouldn't be in this low position. The head of the Mi Kingdom rambled on and on. Oh no. A huge spray. The high-ranking official with the gold-rimmed glasses felt a cool, wet sensation on his face, and for some reason, his eyes suddenly welled up with tears. However, the leader of the Mi Kingdom hadn't stopped. If once isn't enough, go a few more times. At this moment, another high-ranking official kindly stepped forward to remind him, but didn't you just say, Your Excellency, that Mi Kingdom's research wouldn't extend an olive branch to such opportunistic people? Before he could finish speaking, the Mi Kingdom leader teleported to his side. Did I say that? His eyes were fixed on him. PFFT. Seeing this, everyone present was stunned. Holy crap, this is too hypocritical, too hypocritical. He clearly wants them, yet he speaks of them as worthless. It's a classic case of putting up a memorial arch while acting like a prostitute. But even so, yes, oh, no, no, no. At this moment, the high-ranking official was panicking. Whatever you say, I dare not say it, I dare not ask it. The leader of the Lost Kingdom stammered again. Anyone capable of developing mechas is no ordinary person. A genius like this should stay in our Lost Kingdom. PFFT, boom, boom, boom. My lord, please listen to this. The thunder is roaring. Furthermore, this is the internet age. Have those researchers publicly recruit Fang Heng online. Remember, the conditions must be excellent, excellent, but, looking at his subordinates, he hesitated. The leader of the Lost Kingdom was truly furious. But what? If you don't want to work here, get out. Our Lost Kingdom's technology has always been at the top of Blue Star, and this time will be no exception. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 28 I am so fortunate to be born in Kyushu. I am proud of my motherland. On Weibo, a post is receiving countless comments. At Miss Who Loves to Look Pretty, Dear Mr. Fang Heng, on behalf of the entire research team of MIGO, we extend a sincere invitation to you. We hope you can join us in creating a great undertaking. Please rest assured, you will receive excellent treatment after you come. Within the bounds of human rights and the rule of law in MIGO, you can do whatever you want, however you want, and we, including the management, will not interfere with you in any way, as long as you are willing. All prestigious universities and social research institutions in MIGO are open to you. Furthermore, our leader said that to show our sincerity, if you agree to come, we can grant you MIGO status and even make an exception to allow you to participate in the MIGO election. The post is signed by MIGO Research. Sure enough, MIGO is still the same as always. First, they publicly belittle others for not producing talent, and then when those talents begin to shine, they are full of ideas on how to poach them. As netizens said, MIGO's heart is so ungrateful. Over the years, many talented individuals from Kyushu have been poached. Before achieving success, they all shone under Kyushu's protection and assistance, only to be undone by the sweet-talking tactics of the Chinese. Truly unfortunate. This trick again? Old me, it's not that I'm criticizing you, but it's 2022 and you're still using this tactic? How cheap! Fang Heng smiled upon seeing this. That's it? You see, Fang Heng possesses a strong sense of patriotism. After all, he collects the most patriotic lucky cards every year during the Lucky Card Collection event. Holy crap, Holy crap, are poaching people this blatantly open now, those bastards from Megiddo, trying to steal him again. You're a genius, you idiot. Fang Heng belongs to Kyushu, no one else can even think about him. I believe Fang Heng is a conscientious, loving, and patriotic young man, a model citizen. If not, he doesn't deserve to share my surname, but you never know. After all, they offered such generous terms, any man would be tempted, then let him be a woman. PFFT. Ha ha ha. Upstairs, I admire you the most. Ha ha ha. Being tempted doesn't mean taking action. If Fang Heng really agrees to Megiddo, then he'll be a little woman, a super little woman. The comments section below the post was already a heated debate about Megiddo's high-priced offer to invite Fang Heng. What was originally an ordinary post was pushed to the top of the trending topics list by netizens. The brothers of this Haitian gang deserve all the credit for this. Some impatient fans even left messages directly on Fang Heng's Weibo. Fang the Great God, I'm calling you Great God now. Please don't leave me, don't leave us. Although I couldn't give you a car, couldn't give you a house, and couldn't afford a dowry, I have a heart that loves you, brother Fang Heng. The sister upstairs is so good to you, unlike others who can't do anything but stay by your side. PFFT, you two are probably possessed by green tea beaches. Fang Heng, I'm a senior in high school this year, in the same year as you, but you're my idol. If you're defeated by the sugar-coated bullets of this country, then I'll look down on you for the rest of my life. Although I'm not as amazing as you, I repeated my senior year 8 times, and my total score last year was 388. But I love my country, I love my home, I love my nation. Fang Heng's Weibo account instantly exploded. Honestly, Fang Heng really wanted to ask which bastard had leaked his Weibo account. Please be patient, Fang Heng thought, looking at the endless stream of unread messages on Weibo. Scrolling and scrolling, he couldn't reach the bottom. Damn it, can you guys please be quiet? I haven't even said anything yet. I have trypophobia. After a moment's thought, Fang Heng started typing on his computer. Hello everyone, my name is Fang Heng. Thank you all for your concern. I haven't taken any action yet, I'm still a man. Holy crap, look, Fang the Great has replied, PFFT. Ha ha ha. I bet you wouldn't dare be a woman, otherwise how could you live up to the mecha you made? Instant reply. Fang Heng was slightly taken aback, he hadn't expected so many netizens to be waiting for his reply on Weibo. But after a slight pause, Fang Heng continued. Although I'm no longer in school, I still remember my kindergarten teacher teaching us to be grateful for what we have. I am very grateful for the invitation from Megiddo Research. Holy crap, Fang Heng, what are you doing? What are you doing? Holy crap, is Fang Heng thinking of accepting? No way, Fang Heng, danger. Don't knowingly walk into danger. Seeing Fang Heng express his gratitude, netizens were confused and silently held their breath for him. They were so nervous that they wished they were Fang Heng and immediately refused Megiddo's invitation. However, Fang Heng continued, I am very grateful for Megiddo Research's invitation. This invitation is an affirmation of me personally, and also an affirmation of our Kyushu, confirming that our Kyushu technology will eventually lead the way, but despite my gratitude, I solemnly refuse this invitation. I am a Kyushu person, fortunate to be born in Kyushu in this life, and will still be a descendant of the dragon in the next life. In an instant, almost simultaneously, the moment countless netizens saw this, the entire internet erupted in jubilation. What a powerful line, born in Kyushu, I'll be a descendant of the dragon in the next life. Wah! Tears welling up. I misunderstood Master Fang. I'll kneel on the electronic scale tonight. Holy crap, Master Fang is awesome. Truly a Kyushu native, so civilized and courteous, every word a refusal, every word full of grace, so fortunate to be born in Kyushu. Those traitors, aren't you ashamed? Why do I feel so restless? Am I about to awaken my dragon bloodline? At this moment, everyone watching felt incredibly proud. The giant dragon of the east is soaring. I am a Kyushu native, and I am proud. Wah! Sand got in my eyes. My eyes are often filled with tears because I love this land so deeply. Awesome. Fang Dashin is awesome. Fang Dashin, we support you. From now on, whether you're a laborer or a bricklayer, you'll always be my idol, and I'll always be your fan. Long live, long live, long live. Chapter 29. You're celebrating too soon. Just as netizens in Kyushu were getting excited, the organizers of Megiddo Research also saw Fang Heng's reply immediately. In the Megiddo Research conference room, A group of managers were gathered around a computer. A middle-aged, overweight man with scraggly hair cursed, "Trash, trash, all trash. You're all trash, you're all just good-for-nothings." Who said Fang Heng would agree to this post? Who said this would give Fang Heng face, make him feel cooler, and thus get him to agree? And now? What's happening now? He, in front of the entire internet, directly rejected me. Don't I have any dignity? The others present were too intimidated to look up. The overweight manager, his beard scraggly with anger, continued cursing. Now he's all cool. We've all lost face. We represent Migo. You people, Migo will be ruined by you sooner or later. You'll make Migo no longer great. The overweight manager almost threw his glass. Fuck, do you know how much importance the Grand Commander attaches to this? 9 of us can compare. If this succeeds, you'll be rich and powerful, but if it fails? Hell, manager, don't be angry. Actually, we still have a chance. What chance? Hearing that there was still a chance, the fat manager calmed down a little. This time, maybe he feels we're not sincere enough. After all, people from Kyushu value meetings. Since that's the case, let's satisfy him. We'll send a high-ranking official to personally invite him. I don't believe that a guy who hasn't even graduated high school can have much ambition. He definitely can't resist the temptation of money, status, and beautiful women. Manager, don't you always teach us that there's no one you can't invite, only conditions that aren't tempting enough? Hell, that manager was really clever. He inadvertently flattered him again. It has to be said that these words were very effective on the fat manager. He stroked his beard, which was bristling with anger, suppressing his inner rage. That makes sense. Thinking of this, he immediately called MB Technology Airlines. Meanwhile, Fang Heng was thinking about how to fix Wang Hongxi's car. Damn it, he's really ruthless. He even dared to damage a Lamborghini. Doesn't he feel any pain in his heart? Sigh, it seems that you really can't do without tools. Fang Heng threw the wrench on the ground and sat down on the chair next to him. The mecha has already been sold. Now, the most urgent thing is to make a handy tool. How about making an energy laser gun? Not as big as a mecha. Just as Fang Heng was wiping his sweat and making plans, a neighbor walked in. Little Heng, still busy? Look at this, it's a real headache. Fang Heng helplessly pointed to the Lamborghini in front of him, which was now completely unrecognizable. Good luck, young man. Oh, by the way, there was a guy at the village entrance who said he was looking for you. I saw they were all bearded and blonde, and I didn't know who they were, so I didn't dare bring them here, especially since you're famous now. By the way, one of them was something like Pete. Yes, Pete, and another one. He didn't say who the other one was. Pete? What's he doing here again? Didn't he already leave in a huff last time? Is he hungry again? Fang Heng really couldn't understand these foreigners, and of course, he didn't intend to. After the neighbors left, Fang Heng immersed himself in repairing technology again. He gradually forgot all about Pete's arrival. Time passed second by second. The sun was already high in the sky. Pete was almost going crazy waiting. If it weren't for the other person still there, he probably would have left long ago. Fuck, this Fang Heng is so disrespectful. What do he think we, the researchers of this country, are? Chief Steward Maswin, should we go back? That brat is asking for trouble. He was practically spitting out saliva earlier, but when he faced Chief Steward Maswin, Pete immediately backed down. It was obvious that Chief Steward Maswin was of a higher rank than him. They were probably not even in the same league. Incomparable. Pete, don't forget what I told you before we came. That was all he said. Chief Steward Maswin only replied with one sentence, his gaze sweeping deep into the village. Anyone with experience reading this would know he had met his match. A while later, Fang Heng still hadn't appeared. Pete was incredibly agitated, practically jumping around like a cat on a hot tin roof. He glanced at Chief Steward Maswin, then gave up, and looked back at the village. Damn it. He felt like he was going crazy if he didn't see Fang Heng again. It felt like being sentenced to death, waiting for the bullet to leave the chamber. Hey, wait, cough. Did you manage to contact Mr. Fang Heng for me? Seeing a familiar villager, Pete immediately went up to ask. Huh? What are you still doing here? I already contacted him for you. Hearing this, Pete became even more anxious. Maybe you should wait a little longer. With that, the villager turned and left, leaving Pete completely bewildered. A long time passed. PFFT. PFFT, you bastard, you bastard. I meant to say maybe you could contact him again. Fuck. And so it went until noon. The villagers kept coming and going until they saw these two guys. They were incredibly persistent. Again, early until noon. Finally, some incredibly kind person brought them to Fang Heng's repair shop. Manager Maswin calmly surveyed his surroundings. And Pete. He desperately wanted to rush in, but with Maswin there, that was clearly impossible. Pete glanced at Maswin furtively. Holy crap, is this guy even human? He's been left hanging all day, and he's not even angry. Excuse me, is Mr. Fang Heng here? Because the repair shop was open, Maswin asked as he walked in. He saw several people eating as soon as he entered. They were clearly Fang Heng's family. Maswin politely stepped forward. You must be Mr. Fang Heng. Maswin extended his hand, ready to shake hands with Fang Heng. It's a pleasure to meet you. He had just finished speaking when Fang Heng said, You're too happy too soon. I don't want to meet you yet, Fang Heng said, picking at his food. PFFT. Chapter 30. Since it's about giving gifts, one should naturally follow local customs. Maswin, it's a pleasure to meet you. Fang Heng, you're too happy too soon. I don't even want to know you. Everyone was eating seriously, but now, hearing this conversation between the two, PFFT. Fang Heng's father, Fang Jing, couldn't hold back any longer. PFFT, cough, ha, PFFT, PFFT. Fang Jing quickly covered his mouth with his hand. He was so impatient. Couldn't they just talk properly? He got my mouth full of food, almost, cough. Don't laugh, PFFT. At this moment, Pete was glaring and puffing out his cheeks. Hey Fang, don't push your luck. This is the head of research at MB in the Me Kingdom, Pete. Pete wanted to say something more, but was immediately stopped by Maswin. Mr. Fang Heng, please forgive Pete's rudeness. I apologize for his previous incompetent behavior. Manager Maswin bowed respectfully to Fang Heng. Holy crap, I have to say this guy is really open-minded. What if it were the second one? Hell, he turned and ran away, or rather, he threatened Fang Heng first before running away. Oh ho, Fang Heng raised his head slightly and looked at him. I didn't expect you to be so sensible. Tell me, what do you want? A person like this, you can't leave even if you beat him to death if you don't tell him. But I wonder if he will. Mr. Fang Heng, it's like this, our leader greatly admires your abilities and cherishes talent. He hopes to invite you to develop in our Me Kingdom, just like the proverb in your Kyushu, even a clever cook can't cook without rice. Mr. Fang, you possess unparalleled talent, and you certainly don't want to be defeated by resources and environment. Seeing that Fang Heng didn't get angry, Maswin took a breath and continued. Someone as talented as Mr. Fang needs a higher and bigger platform. Not here, Maswin said pointedly. This place can't provide you with a good research atmosphere, nor a better platform for you to develop your abilities, but you can choose to come to our Me Kingdom. Our leader cherishes talent, and before I came, he specifically instructed me to maintain proper etiquette when I meet Mr. Fang. If you agree to come to Me Kingdom, before he could finish. Why are you saying so much to him, Maswin? Fang Heng, give us a straight answer, yes or no. Pete couldn't stand Maswin and Fang Heng's endless chatter. Since he entered Me Kingdom's MB technology, he had never seen anyone dare to be so arrogant towards him. Fuck you, Pete, are you deliberately trying to sabotage me? Can't you see I'm about to succeed? Maswin suddenly started swearing in Me Kingdom. Pete instantly cowered, his head almost tucked back into his neck. He could tell he was truly furious. Maria's the head of the department, someone who could easily bring him down. But Maswin didn't continue his outburst. Instead, he took a deep breath, instantly switching back to a smiling expression, and said to Fang Heng with a grin, Mr. Fang, I apologize to you again. How, does he really think Fang Heng can't understand Miguo language? Your foxtail is wagging so high. How, but Fang Heng didn't make any further moves. Mr. Fang, if you agree to come to Miguo, you can choose any of our research facilities to conduct your research projects. All projects will be provided by Miguo, and we guarantee we won't interfere with your research direction. Of course, if Mr. Fang wants to experience the atmosphere of a university laboratory, all universities in Miguo would very much welcome your arrival. Holy crap, does this imply that besides the head of the department, Fang Heng is the most powerful? That's a high level of freedom. Is that all? You've come all this way here, And you haven't offered anything substantial. Fang Heng moved his lips and said, "Yes, yes, yes." Ma Suan was overjoyed. Finally, all his persuasion had paid off. Fang Heng was finally tempted. "How? I thought you were so noble, but I still managed to sway you." Ma Suan was secretly ecstatic. They were right all along. What temptation could a high school student like him possibly resist? Mr. Fang, it's a pleasure to meet you. I've prepared a small gift for you, please accept it. Ma Suan rubbed his pockets for a moment and pulled out a bank card. "There are 100,000 yuan in here. It's just a small token of my appreciation." Holy crap, how much? How much did you just say? Fang Jing immediately perked up, his eyes shining as he looked at the bank card. 100,000 yuan, Ma Suan repeated with a smile. Especially seeing Fang Jing's expression, he thought, Fang Heng, now I've got you completely under my thumb. You should have said so earlier. Fang Heng, hurry up and accept it. It's so awkward for him to be like this. Perhaps afraid Fang Heng wouldn't agree, Fang Jing whispered in his ear. He said it was a gift for you, why not take it? Fang Heng suddenly thought of something. PFFT, laughed. Fang Heng laughed, reaching out to take it, and said, "Then thank you." "Ha ha ha, you're welcome. Oh. Ma Suan was stunned. What's going on? Why is Fang Heng staring straight at me? "Oh, Mr. Fang, you?" "Nothing else," Fang Heng said earnestly. Nothing? Mr. Fang, you mean, holy crap, Mr. Ma, this is so unfair. At this moment, Ma Suan was completely dumbfounded. How was he unfair? Mr. Fang, do you think 100,000 is a bit too little? No, then what is it? Holy crap, please, this is Kyushu. In Kyushu, can you only give a gift to one person? Everyone says when in Rome, do as the Romans do, don't you understand? Fang Heng looked at his family members who were having dinner with him and gestured emphatically. Oh, I understand, Mr. Fang. Wait a minute. Ma Suan rubbed his pockets a few times and took out a few bank cards. Here, these two are also 100,000 yuan. Ma Suan smiled and was about to hand them over. But they're all my elders, and their seniority is higher than mine. Shouldn't you give more? Fang Heng was really shameless at this moment. PFFT. Ma Suan's smile instantly froze in the air. If it were before, he would have already cursed, but not today. He paused for a moment and shouted, "Pete!" Chapter 31. A gift given is like water spilled, it cannot be taken back. Pete hesitated, saying, "Manager Ma, I didn't bring much with me, only one." Pete reluctantly pulled a bank card from his pocket. "This is the company's." Before Pete could finish speaking, "Here you go." Ma Suan snatched Pete's bank card and handed it to Fang Heng and the others with a grin. PFFT. Pete's legs trembled, and he stammered, That's not my money, it's PFFT. The money was taken by manager Ma Suan, not lost by him. This was his only consolation. Mr. Fang, is this alright? This should be proper, right? At this moment, Ma Suan had no idea what Pete was thinking. He only had one thought, the more Fang Heng asked for, the more likely he was to agree. Not bad. Oh, right, I also have a younger sister. Everyone in the village dotes on her the most, and they always give her the best gifts. PFFT. Damn it, Fang Heng. You. Don't be so greedy. Even Ma Suan couldn't maintain his smile at this moment. Mr. Fang, can we make it up next time? Next time you go to the Mystic Kingdom, I'll definitely take good care of you and your sister. Damn it. I really didn't bring that many bank cards this time. Ma Suan looked miserable. It wasn't that he was worried about the money. If inviting Fang Heng succeeded, he could get a lot of money back later. It was just that he really didn't have any extra bank cards right now. He was practically penniless. Ma Suan continued to explain. Mr. Fang, you didn't bring that many bank cards. It's okay, we're not picky. Seeing the smile on Fang Heng's face, Ma Suan breathed a sigh of relief and quickly smiled ingratiatingly. Ha, that's good. Thank you, Mr. Fang. WeChat transfer is fine. If that doesn't work, Alipay is also acceptable. PFFT. Ma Suan's heart suddenly clenched. Fang Heng, thank you for everything. Beep. As he spoke, Fang Heng had already shown his QR code for receiving payments. Pete was completely dumbfounded. almost collapsing to the ground. Damn it, Fang Heng, please, have some decency. You have more money now than I've ever seen in my entire life. Especially from me just now, PFFT, just thinking about that bank card from earlier made Pete's legs start to tremble involuntarily. Maswen cursed inwardly, but he was determined to complete this mission. How to put it? If he completed this mission, he would be the #1 hero of the Me Kingdom, with high-ranking positions and generous salaries in the future. But if he failed, he would become the target of everyone's ire, losing both his money and his reputation. With a determined look, Maswen made up his mind. He slowly took out his phone, scanned the QR code, and with a beep, 100,000 Me Yuan were instantly transferred to Fang Heng's account. Fang Heng, seeing the successful transfer, grinned and said in an innocent manner, Ma, thank you. I thank you on behalf of my sister. Also, I have to thank you for solving a huge problem for me. Faced with Fang Heng's words, Maswen was completely bewildered. ? I don't know what problem Mr. Fang is referring to. Everyone says failure is the mother of success, but no one knows who its father is. Thank you for telling me what the father of successful payment is. PFFT, cough cough, PFFT, Maswen felt like he had suffered 1,000 points of damage. Damn it all. PFFT. Maswen slapped his thigh hard in the back to try and pull himself together. Mr. Fang, now that you've given the gift and fulfilled all the formalities, are you going to accept our invitation? Maswen forced a smile. Of course. I won't accept, Fang Heng said slyly. You, Fang Heng, you, Pete exploded first, rushing to Maswen and cursing. Fang Heng, Manager Maswen is so good to you. Fang Heng didn't speak, only gave a comical smile. Maswen still held on to his last bit of pride. Fang, what do you mean by that? Nothing, just the literal meaning. PFFT. Maswen's last bit of good temper was completely worn away, and he instantly broke down. At this moment, he could no longer suppress his anger. Fuck, are you fucking messing with me? How dare I, Mr. Ma, how could I dare mess with you? Fang Heng said innocently. HMPH, you son of a bitch, you don't know what's good for you. HMPH, give it to me. Maswen stretched out his hand directly, saying without any politeness. Damn it, this was the first time in his life he'd been made a fool of like a monkey. Fang Heng pretended to be very confused and said, What, give me back my money, you mean this? Fang Heng waved a bank card in his hand. In that instant, Maswen tried to snatch it back, but Fang Heng dodged it. Oh dear, Mr. Ma, what are you doing? It's true that this money was yours before, but now that you've given it to me, it's mine, Fang Heng said innocently. HMPH, that was an invitation to our Me Kingdom. Since you refused, of course it's not for you. Now that the pretense was over, the arrogant Maswen naturally wouldn't give Fang Heng a good look. Is that so? I don't think so, Fang Heng thought, trying to scare me. I'm from Xiamen University. If you don't answer me after I count to 3, I'll. Before he could finish, Fang Heng was interrupted loudly. What do you mean, I'll? This is Kyushu, not your Me Kingdom. You can't do whatever you want here, you. Even the most patient person would be about to explode at Fang Heng's rudeness, let alone Maswen. He immediately went berserk. Fuck, who the hell scared you? You're the one scaring me. You're using Kyushu to scare me. Just as Maswen was about to give Fang Heng a piece of his mind, Pete quickly stepped forward to persuade him. Manager, calm down. This is Kyushu, we can't resort to violence. Pete said this while frantically gesturing with his eyes. Let's go directly to the consulate. Go to the consulate, they'll definitely help us. Just then, suddenly, a rumbling sound came from outside. Chapter 32. The repair shop is completely surrounded. Holy crap, is this an earthquake? Fang Jing immediately stood up. Everyone inside couldn't contain their excitement and rushed outside. But the moment they stepped out the door, the moment they lifted their feet, they wished they could immediately pull back. Holy crap, what's going on? This is too damn scary. Everyone at the scene was stunned. Dozens of heavy, medium-sized military armored vehicles were speeding towards them from the direction of the village entrance. Not only that, but 2 helicopters were circling overhead, their powerful propellers emitting a loud roar. Buzzing, this scene immediately alarmed the entire village, and everyone gathered around to watch. Holy crap, what's going on? This is terrifying. This is all military equipment. How could they come to a remote mountain village? I don't know, but they look quite formidable. Could something have gone wrong? A chorus of strong, muscular thoughts raced through everyone's minds. Holy crap, look, that's heading towards Fang Heng. Hiss, do you think it might be? Let's go. Follow them and see, let's go. Fang Heng was even more agitated. Damn it, he'd never seen anything like this before. At this moment, Fang Heng's father tugged at his arm and said cautiously, son, could these people be people they called? To be honest, he was a little panicked inside. Definitely not. Did you just see them making a phone call? Don't worry, it's probably just a military exercise, Fang Heng said, trying to sound calm, but in his heart, he thought the reason was ridiculous. When would the army go to the countryside for exercises now? That's impossible. Meanwhile, Pete became excited. Holy crap, Maswin, look! Are they here to help us? They know Fang Heng won't give us a reply, but no matter what Pete said, Maswin still had a sense of unease. Something felt off, but he couldn't quite put his finger on it. Holy crap, it's getting closer and closer. Could it be, really? Hiss, I'm doomed. No way. Our village is full of law-abiding citizens. They're definitely not here to find us. Maybe the military exercise is just passing through, exiting from the East Village entrance. No. Although I'm not very well educated, I know the military would never come here for an exercise. After all, this is a civilian area. Exactly. You know the location of military exercises is strictly restricted. Holy crap. Could it be that Fang Heng has researched some major invention again? Do you remember last time at the airport, it was the same. Those people were so imposing, with serious eyes. Just as everyone was discussing this, the plane overhead had given up on landing, because there was simply no landing spot to be found here. After lowering the sky ladder, a group of agile people quickly got to work. At the same time, the dozen or so special vehicles also drove towards Fang Heng's repair shop from all directions. This setup, tisk, anyone who disobeys will definitely have nowhere to escape. Thump. After landing, the personnel quickly reorganized their formation. Thump. Then, centered on the repair shop, they continued to disperse. Leading the group was a highly respected vice captain, Qin Ming. He was dressed in a formal suit, exuding an aura of authority as he approached. Especially his unique gaze, so sharp, as if it could pierce through everything. He seemed to be a very experienced captain. Hello, is this Fang Heng's house? His voice was loud and penetrating. No. Fang Jing hesitated, not because he was too nervous, but because he wasn't entirely sure. Is it or isn't it? His voice rose again, echoing clearly to everyone present. This is Fang Heng's repair shop, but not his home. Fang Jing gritted his teeth and mustered his courage to speak. You? Startled by Qin Ming's glare, Fang Jing immediately introduced himself. Oh, I'm Fang Heng's father. Unexpectedly. Upon hearing this, Qin Ming's eyes flashed with a glint. Immediately, he saluted. Then he began. Hello, I'm Qin Ming, the deputy captain of the security team. We're here to find Fang Heng, PFFT. You really? Why are you looking for Fang Heng? Is it because of him? Hearing Qin Ming's words, Fang Jing panicked. In his memory, Fang Heng hadn't done anything wrong. Well, I can't tell you until I see Fang Heng. Actually, he didn't know why he suddenly had to come here, but he had received a notice from his captain to come and prepare. Judging from his captain's tone, this matter seemed complicated. But just then, Maswin also moved. Hello, sir. Huh? What's going on? Only then did Qin Ming notice that there were two foreigners here. Maswin stepped forward and said in fluent Kyushu dialect, Hello, sir. My name is Maswin, and I am the research director of MB Technology Aerospace. As he spoke, Maswin showed Qin Ming some kind of identification. After looking at it, Qin Ming visibly frowned. Maswin continued, That young man over there agreed to help me, and I would pay him, but now he won't help me, and he won't pay me back. If we round it down, it's a total of 500,000 yuan. Qin Ming's eyes immediately locked onto the direction Maswin was pointing, and Fang Heng felt a chill run down his spine. Look, aren't those two the foreigners who were clamoring to see Fang Heng at the village entrance this morning? PFFT. I laughed. What could Fang Heng possibly use to fool them? Besides, why? They were the ones clamoring to see Fang Heng this morning. Could this be a case of being tricked on their own? Ha. The villagers watching nearby began to discuss quietly. Maswin, He won't help Li Ying return my money, so please help me. For a moment, Qin Ming didn't know what to do. He had a mission to complete, but the other party's identification was also. Just as Qin Ming was in a dilemma, a shout came from behind. Qin Ming, what are you doing? It was basically a reprimand. This made everyone present tremble. After all, someone who could reprimand Qin Ming was definitely. Swish swish swish. Instantly, everyone's eyes turned in the direction of the sound. Hiss, another group of people arrived. They were fully equipped again, and the leader looked like a captain, with more experience than Qin Ming. But this group was a little different from the previous ones. At their center were 8 elderly people. Chapter 33 Maswin's chance to turn things around. After recognizing the people approaching, Qin Ming respectfully accepted the salute. Captain, reporting. Captain, these 2 foreign friends, just as Qin Ming was reporting to Captain Su Jian. Ha ha ha, young friend Fang Heng, long time no see, a very cheerful voice rang out. Fang Heng was also a little puzzled. Why did that voice sound so familiar? Looking closely, he realized it was Zhang Guojian and his group. Fang Heng said with a slight look of surprise, "You, what brings you here? We missed you." Ha ha ha, Professor Zhou said without any shyness. Since his in-depth conversation with Fang Heng last time, he had discovered that although this young man could be quite sarcastic, he had a good heart. These people, Fang Heng pointed to the serious-looking guys around him, swallowed hard, and said, "You brought all of these people? Oh, I'm so sorry, young friend Fang Heng, we've startled you. It's all our fault for being so eager to see you that we forgot to inform our superiors before leaving." "So, they escorted us all the way here," Zhang Guojian said somewhat embarrassedly, but inwardly he was very moved and proud. Indeed. These professors have dedicated most of their lives to scientific research in Kyushu. Each one is a renowned professor. If something were to happen to them on the way, who could bear the responsibility? So when the leadership heard they had left Kyoto, they immediately sent a security team to protect them. Damn, 8 professors, those are all treasures of Kyushu. How? Fang Heng rolled his eyes. Using me as a shield again. That's how it is, isn't it? Oh, by the way, shall I introduce you to someone? Su Jian. Yes, Professor. Su Jian immediately responded when the professor mentioned him. Looks like that kid is Fang Heng, the professors are looking for. Are you sure it was this kid who swindled those 2 foreigners out of their money? Su Jian asked Qin Ming before going over. Oh. Qin Ming hesitated for a moment, then followed without saying anything. Su Jian, the captain of the Kyoto security team. Don't underestimate him just because he's not wearing a uniform. He was once the #1 warrior in Kyoto, Zhang Guojian introduced with a smile. Hello, Fang Heng greeted him with a smile. Old Zhang, let's not stand here anymore, let's go inside and talk. Okay, young friend Fang Heng, may we come in and have a drink? Ha ha ha. As they spoke, the professors and Fang Heng were about to go inside. But just then, Maswan's voice rang out again. Sir, he can't go. He can't go, Maswan shouted, trying to rush forward to grab Fang Heng. But the team didn't see Maswan's actions that way. There were 8 professors from the 9 provinces ahead of them, and now 2 foreigners were suddenly charging forward. Holy crap, a sneak attack. Don't move. Several soldiers rushed forward without a word, delivering a sweeping kick that knocked Maswan down face first. The other soldiers reacted instantly, several blocking Maswan's path in a flash, and more behind him. All the soldiers were fully armed, their weapons already loaded. If Maswan made any sudden movement, they would not hesitate. After all, they had the backing of the 9 provinces, they couldn't afford any mistakes. Spit, spit, spit spit spit, Maswan spat out some dirt, looking frustrated, and tried to stand up, but was pushed back down. This time it was even more outrageous. He had originally opened his mouth wide as if to vomit, but now, PFFT, PFFT. This time, he was actually eating in big mouthfuls. Fuck, what are you doing? Maswan was filled with hatred and resentment. Stop. Seeing this, Su Jian and Qin Ming quickly stepped in to support the situation. What are you doing? Although Qin Ming had already told Su Jian their identities, Su Jian still asked anyway. If they were just bystanders, it wouldn't be a big deal, but if they had any improper thoughts about the professors, then they were dangerous elements. Commander Qin, I just told you that guy cheated me out of my money, why didn't you keep him here? Are you biased towards him? Aren't you afraid we'll go to the consulate to talk to you? Having made such a fool of himself, Maswan had lost all his previous composure. Now his eyes were filled with resentment and anger. What's wrong? What's wrong? Zhang Guojian frowned, clearly displeased. His mission was about to begin, but some guys. Professor, it's like this, these two foreigners said what? They said Fang Heng. Qin Ming recounted everything Maswan had told him to Zhang Guojian. Young friend Fang Heng. Before the professor could speak, Fang Heng interrupted. What's wrong? Are you talking about these bank cards? That's right, and one mobile transfer. Seeing Fang Heng proactively produce the bank cards, Maswan instantly felt his confidence return. HMPH, now caught red-handed, let's see what you have to say. A genius boy swindled 500,000 yuan. Maswan's mind raced with calculations. When your reputation in Kyushu is ruined and everyone hates you, won't you have to come begging to me? HMPH, you won't even listen to my nice attitude now, but you'll know what it means to be dependent on others later. But when he saw Fang Heng's mocking smile, he felt a pang of panic. Nonsense, this was clearly a gift from you. When did it become something I cheated you on? Fang Heng, it was clearly you who tricked Steward Maswan into thinking you would come to Army Kingdom, and that's why Steward Maswan gave you this money. Now that you've refused, naturally you won't get a single penny. Pete had lived in Kyushu for many years and knew that the Kyushu troops were very reasonable, which is why he dared to speak up. Holy crap, so they were here to poach our talent. Damn it, I should have helped them contact Fang Heng this morning. But Fang Heng wasn't even here then. How did they get here? HMPH, scoundrels, those two are definitely scoundrels again. They see a peerless genius has appeared in our village and want to poach him. What? Brother Fang Heng actually accepted money from those two bastards. What? Stop crying. Didn't you just say you refused? Chapter 34. This has really stirred up a huge mess. Zhang Guojian looked at Fang Heng with a shocked expression, almost incredulous, and said, they're here to invite you, to the Mi Kingdom. Boom. Boom. Zhang Guojian never expected the foreigners to act so quickly, finding this place in such a short time. Luckily he came today, otherwise. But what's going on now? What is Fang Heng up to? Zhang Guojian looked at Fang Heng with some confusion. In his opinion, Fang Heng was definitely not a liar. Is that so? Then you'll have to listen carefully to this, otherwise, you'll keep saying I'm lying to you. How could I possibly lie to you? Fang Heng said with a wicked grin as he took out his phone from his pocket. Click play. Mr. Fang, it's a pleasure to meet you. I've prepared a small gift for you, please accept it. There are 100,000 yuan in here, just a small token of my appreciation. Here, these two are also 100,000 yuan each. The phone was playing the conversation between Fang Heng and Maswan during their meal. How about it? Do you still think I lied to you? I don't know who said they prepared a small gift for me, saying something like just a small token of my appreciation. How about it? If I heard correctly, this should be what you said, Steward Maswan. Fang Heng looked at Maswan with a sly smile, deliberately drawing out his words. PFFT. PFFT. Upon hearing this, Steward Maswan felt his vision go black and almost fainted. Fuck, how cunning Fang Heng is. When did he record this? Although he was furious and about to explode, Maswan couldn't find any reason to refute him. After all, the other party had evidence, the recording was of him speaking. Fang Heng, you, when did you record this? How come I didn't know? Shocked and panicked at this moment, Maswan wanted to slap himself for being so cheeky, but he wanted to beat Fang Heng up even more. Damn it, he was too cunning, recording it. PFFT, cough. Zhang Guojian, who had imagined the whole thing, almost couldn't help but laugh. Oh my god, this Fang Heng is too clever. This has really tricked these two guys. Although he didn't recommend doing this, seeing the corners of their mouths now, he didn't know why he felt incredibly satisfied. Slap, why are you slapping yourself? I don't understand, what's going on? These two foreigners were the ones who offered money to Fang Heng, why are they turning their backs on him so quickly? He's in a hurry. Our Fang Heng is from Kyushu, how could he possibly agree to his demands? PFFT. He lost both his wife and his army, why should someone so untrustworthy stay here? He's just lowering the standards of our village's public discourse. That's right, hurry up and leave our village, go, in an instant. The villagers who had been whispering among themselves suddenly loudly ordered Maswan and Pete to leave. Fang Heng, you'll regret treating us like this today. Don't beg me to invite you again, Maswan said through gritted teeth, his eyes full of resentment. Someone, escort the two out of the village. Sujian also arranged for people to follow Maswan and the others out of the village, not for any other reason than that he was too much of an eyesore here. Upon reaching the village entrance, Sujian's men automatically returned to the village, leaving only Maswan and Pete. Both of them looked utterly ashen-faced. Mr. Steward, then what do we do now? Having suffered such a devastating blow, Pete was practically at a loss. He had only been teased by Fang Heng last time, and he had thought that with Steward Ma personally taking action this time, he would surely be able to defeat Fang Heng, but he hadn't expected to lose even more miserably. Let's go see that person first. Oh, right, give me the funds that headquarters allocated this year. Maswan was about to leave when he suddenly stopped and asked, remembering something. Rumble. Hearing this, Pete felt even more like Tang. Steward, what's wrong? Is there a problem? This money is project funding from headquarters for our research institute. Do you want to? Maswan's eyes glared at him fiercely. No. I wouldn't dare. Even if you gave me a water tank as my courage, Steward Ma, I still wouldn't dare. But Pete was filled with grievance and said very nervously, just now. I already gave it to you. Fuck. Pete, are you trying to play a trick on me? Just as Maswan was about to explode, he suddenly remembered that he had asked Pete for a bank card from Fang Heng, and he had casually given that bank card to Fang Heng. You wouldn't be talking about? Maswan's eyes widened, almost big enough to fit an apple. Not daring to look at Maswan's eyes, Pete, with a deathly pale face, nodded vigorously. Yes, what you just took from me was the research funding transferred from headquarters, PFFT. Hearing this, Maswan's legs instantly went weak, and he collapsed to the ground. PFFT, 10 million yuan, 10 million yuan, Maswan muttered desperately. He remembered how Pete had initially refused to give it to him, but he had insisted on taking it from Pete. Pete had clearly warned him not to, and at the time he thought it was Pete's own money that Pete refused to give it to him. He never expected. PFFT. Thinking of this, Maswan actually spat out blood on the spot. That 10 million yuan wasn't Pete's, nor was it his. It was mecha research funding allocated by the Mi Kingdom's leader. Now he had actually handed it over to Fang Heng. Going back now? Could he get it back? Fang Heng was recording, and the scene was filled with cameras and microphones. Thinking of this, Maswan felt another surge of anger and frustration. PFFT. Fang Heng, you're ruthless. I won't let you get away with this. Steward Ma, calm down. Let's go back to the Lost Kingdom first. We can discuss this further back there. Discuss this further, ha. Maswan had completely lost his initial charisma, he was practically insane. Back to the Lost Kingdom? Not only was Fang Heng's mission unfinished, but he'd also directly given away the mecha research funds. This. If the Lost Kingdom's higher-ups found out, they wouldn't know how to punish him. 10 million Lost Kingdom yuan. Even if he sold himself, he couldn't afford to pay that back. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 35 Appointment of the Chief Mech Engineer. Inside the repair shop, several professors were looking around, seemingly oblivious to the mess that most people saw. So, what brings you all here all of a sudden? Fang Heng knew them immediately. No one comes without a reason. Zhang Guojian and Old Zhou exchanged a glance and laughed. Ha, young friend Fang Heng, we have some good news for you. Good news? Fang Heng was puzzled. Good news? Absolutely good news? You wouldn't be here to invite me again, would you? Fang Heng smiled slightly, no one knowing what he was thinking. You guessed right, Zhang Guojian said earnestly. Young friend Fang Heng, you know how important your mecha technology is to Kyushu. Do you really want it to just be a repair tool? That would be such a waste. Zhang Guojian then appealed to Fang Heng's emotions and reason, inviting him to join Kyushu's research. Fang Heng also thought about it briefly. If he wanted to develop and expand the repair shop, he needed a powerful partner, It wasn't that Fang Heng lacked money, the main issue is that some resources couldn't be obtained simply by having money. Some products couldn't be produced just because you had money. So, after much thought, it seemed he still had to cooperate with Lao Zheng and the others, but Fang Heng didn't want his ideas and inventions to be interfered with too much. Fang Heng, I can agree to your request, but I have two conditions. First, I don't want to be restricted. If there are research tasks, I can work with you, but I need sufficient freedom otherwise. Second, could you get me some X80 uranium, 1VD titanium? These are all controlled resources, generally only available to research teams at experimental sites. The more Zhang Guojian heard, the more his brows furrowed, but his heart grew increasingly excited. Young friend Fang Heng, have you made a new invention? Zhang Guojian's voice almost suddenly rang out, instantly attracting everyone's attention. What? What? It's only been a few days, and there's already a new invention. When did building mechas become so easy? Even the donkeys in the production team aren't this productive. Am I not worthy? No, it's still under research. I even bought the repair mechas for you guys. How can I survive without a handy tool? How about it? Interested? Want me to teach you sometime? Fang Heng smiled, teasing Zhang Guojian. Zhang Guojian was flattered. Okay, that's great, thank you, young friend Fang Heng. Then what about the conditions I just mentioned? That's easy. If you had mentioned your concerns earlier, we might have become colleagues already. Don't worry, after we go back this time, we will immediately apply to establish the Fang Heng Research Institute, with you as the chief engineer of the mechas. Don't even mention these resources, we have even the more mysterious ones. Zhang Guojian was speaking with great enthusiasm when Fang Heng suddenly interrupted him. No, don't do that. I don't really want to be affected by the official staffing system yet, but, don't worry, since I promised you, I won't go back on my word. But I still need to run this repair shop. As for those titles, you can handle that. I don't care. Just like that, Fang Heng successfully joined the Kyushu research team and became the chief engineer of mecha, a position on par with top-level professors. However, because of Fang Heng's strong refusal, the Fang Heng Research Institute was not established, his identity was not publicly announced, and even private protection was refused by Fang Heng. Meanwhile, Maswan and Pete had returned to the Lost Kingdom. Let me in quickly, I'm the research director here. In front of the MB Technology Research Institute, Maswan was stopped by a security guard. Fuck, is this your first day on the job? Open your dog eyes and see clearly. Maswan was already furious with Fang Heng, and now he was stopped by a mere security guard back in the Lost Kingdom. This made him curse on the spot. Fuck, I'm firing you, ahem. At this moment, another of Maswan's colleagues came out. Upon seeing this person's arrival, Maswan instantly breathed a sigh of relief. Old Jia, hurry up and tell him who I am. You don't even recognize me? Why aren't you letting me in, old ma, there's really no way. You're really not the research director here anymore. The man called Old Jia shook his head and said. What? What do you mean? Just as Maswan was still completely bewildered, don't you have any idea what you did in Kyushu? Boom. Impossible. How could this news get back so quickly? Impossible. Originally, Maswan was thinking of using his position as research director to make up for that money after he returned, but now he wasn't even given the chance. Maswan, the Grand Commander is aware of your situation. He's furious. You're no longer the research director here, and the GBI will be here to take you away soon. What? GBI? The Mi Kingdom Enforcement Team. Just then, a team in special uniforms appeared before Maswan and seized him. No, this can't be. I didn't do anything. How can you treat me like this? I'm a Mi Kingdom citizen, Maswan struggled and shouted hoarsely. The GBI captain loudly announced, a high-level meeting of the palace has decided to revoke Maswan's Mi Kingdom citizenship and expel him from the Mi Kingdom within a specified time. Boom. These words were like a bolt from the blue for Maswan. No, I don't accept this. I'll appeal. I don't accept this. I'll appeal. Maswan's voice was almost hoarse from shouting. He was filled with panic and hatred. I need a lawyer. I want to appeal. Maswan, refused to accept this, but the GBI captain's eyes seemed to say, even if your boss came today, he couldn't save you. I said it. Sorry, lawyers in our country only serve people with normal citizenship. People like you who have been stripped of their citizenship by the higher-ups are no longer eligible for legal services. No lawyer will listen to you, PFFT. PFFT, hearing this, Maswin coughed up a mouthful of blood, his vision went black, and he fell into deep sleep. Chapter 36 Mech Test, Left Gun, Right Cannon. After the Maswin incident, Fang Heng's life gradually returned to normal. The first thing Fang Heng did after agreeing to join the Kyushu Research Institute was to help improve the institute's previously built fully automated repair mech. After all, it was no longer functional after that battle. That day, Fang Heng had just finished washing up when he saw a row of mechas parked in front of his factory. A burly middle-aged man with piercing eyes stepped out. It was Qin Ming. "Hey, good morning, Brother Fang Heng." Because Fang Heng didn't want to reveal his identity yet, Qin Ming still called him Brother Fang Heng, and didn't even wear his military uniform. Fang Heng was stunned, not expecting Qin Ming to come. "Isn't today Saturday? It's my day off, why are you here?" Fang Heng frowned. For the past few days, Qin Ming had been taking him to Zhangguojian's Research Institute 3 or 4 days a week for mech repair missions, but today was truly his day off. Qin Ming chuckled and said, "Don't worry, Brother Fang Heng, we're not having you work today. We're going to see a performance." He was beaming with excitement as he finished speaking. "Huh? What performance?" Fang Heng frowned. "A performance at this hour?" And he had to pick him up? What was this kid up to? Today is the day the mechas are officially delivered to the troops. They'll be testing their various skills. Professor Zheng and the others specifically asked me to pick you up. Qin Ming spoke with urgency, as if he couldn't wait to get back and watch the performance. That's not really appropriate. Military tests and exercises are always classified. Fang Heng instinctively tried to be polite. But unexpectedly, "Oh, okay, then I'll head back now, Brother Fang Heng." With that, Qin Ming turned and prepared to get in the car and leave. Holy crap, this isn't how it works. Why aren't you following the script? You've come all this way to invite me, and I'm just being polite? You actually took it seriously. If you invite me again, I'll say yes. PFFT, seeing that Qin Ming had already opened the car door and seemed genuinely not planning to invite him again, Fang Heng instantly regretted it. Actually, Fang Heng really wanted to see it too. Mechas, military exercises and tests. These were all thrilling scenes. What man could refuse? "Hey, Brother Qin, wait a minute. Just before Qin Ming got into the car, Fang Heng rushed after him. "Brother Qin, you're really not being fair. You didn't even try to persuade me a little more. Maybe if you had, I would have said yes." Fang Heng rolled his eyes. Qin Ming was good in every way, except his personality was too straightforward. "Ha ha ha," Qin Ming laughed heartily, then said, "Didn't you say you didn't want to go? And Professor Zheng also said that if you don't want to go, he won't force you. After all, you've been very tired these past few days." PFFT. PFFT. Fang Heng rolled his eyes at Qin Ming again, pouting, "Then shouldn't I thank him?" "Oh, well, look at it now, let's go." Fang Heng gently patted Qin Ming's shoulder, then got into the car. "Alright, ha ha ha." In a high-altitude, icy mountain in the northwest. The surrounding area was desolate and uninhabited. Even from satellite imagery, it was just a vast expanse of white. Yet, in this very place existed a secret testing base for the Kyushu military equipment. Leading the way to greet Fang Heng was Zhangguojian. "Ha ha ha. Young friend Fang Heng, you've finally arrived. Come, let me introduce you. This is Long Qian, Commander Long. He's the highest-ranking commander of this base." Long Qian was tall and imposing, with sharp eyebrows and bright eyes. His military uniform made him look incredibly majestic. "Hello, Commander Long." Fang Heng imitated their salute. "Ha ha ha, good. Long Qian laughed heartily at Fang Heng's antics. "This must be our renowned Professor Fang Heng, right? Ha ha ha, come on in, please." Tisk tisk tisk. It has to be said that the environment here is frigid, covered in ice and snow everywhere. If he didn't need to pee right now, Fang Heng might really want to experience what it means for water to freeze instantly. Luckily, Qin Ming had changed him into cold weather clothes on the way, otherwise Fang Heng might have already turned to ice. After a winding journey, Fang Heng and his group finally arrived at the mecha testing ground, led by Long Qian. Fang Heng spotted the mech in the center of the test field from afar. It had been completely repaired, even its outer shell replaced with a better, stronger X70Y titanium alloy. A completely new creation. The most obvious change to the mech was its arms. A rotary Gatling gun had been added to the left arm, and a general-purpose automatic high-energy cannon to the right. Gun on the left, cannon on the right, imposing and awe-inspiring from a distance. Young friend Fang Heng, how does it feel? Were you surprised? He, Zhang Guojian said with a grin, under your previous guidance, after repairing it, we've now added these two powerful weapons with the help of the military. If its combat power was 100 units before, it should now be at least 101. Ha ha ha. To be honest, Fang Heng was genuinely surprised when he saw it, but he slowly noticed a problem. This proportion feels a bit off, doesn't it? It turns out that the rotating Gatling gun mounted on the left arm of the mecha is 1.32 meters long, while the general-purpose automatic high-energy cannon mounted on the right arm is 5.69 meters long. This is seriously unbalanced for the mecha. Of course, this is only what appears to be unbalanced. After all, the mecha is 16 meters tall and has a powerful power system, gravity balance system, and other multiple protective systems inside. At this moment, Zhang Guojian touched his old face, somewhat embarrassed, and said, This is already the two strongest weapons we could find. Although it's said that other weapons can be added, I feel that the firepower of other weapons doesn't match the mecha's combat power. So, at this moment, Long Qian also smiled and said, Professor Fang, you don't know, the universal automatic high-energy cannon on the mecha's right arm is one of the top 10 cannons in the world, independently developed by Kyushu, with astonishing attack power. I believe that with the mecha's powerful kinetic energy system, it will definitely be able to exert its maximum effect, hitting its target every time. Today is February 14th. Let me see which cutie is reading. Heart He. Chapter 37, barely passed after 2 rounds of testing. On the observation platform outside the test range. Report, sir, the mechas for this pre-test are ready. Please give instructions. Long Qian cleared his throat and shouted, Begin. With a broad smile, he handed a pair of binoculars to Fang Heng, saying, Professor Fang, this will definitely broaden your horizons. Yes, young friend Fang Heng, now you can see just how capable your repair tools are after being equipped with military gear. Ha ha ha, Fang Heng said, taking the binoculars. In that case, I really need to take a good look. Through the binoculars, Fang Heng could clearly see the specific situation of the test range several hundred meters away. At this moment, the mechas had been activated and were preparing to enter the testing phase. Phoenix 1 Mech Test, Subject 1, Ground 100-mile cross-country challenge. Begin. With the on-site commander's order, the mech shot out like an arrow. Ahead of the mechas were various obstacle courses, steep slopes, high pits, mud pits. In this test, the mechas needed to overcome all obstacles and reach the finish line as quickly as possible. In just a few breaths, the mechas stood perfectly intact outside the finish line. Fang Heng and the others, watching from the observation platform with binoculars, barely saw how the mechas passed. Fang Heng had already witnessed the speed of mechas, so he wasn't too surprised. But Zhang Guojian and Long Qian were different. First, their eyes widened in disbelief, then they almost couldn't stop laughing. Ha ha ha, good, great, Long Qian shouted heartily, his spirits soaring. As a former soldier, possessing such powerful equipment made him even happier than getting a beautiful and wealthy girlfriend. 100 li in total, the mecha completed it in 15.3 seconds. Subject 1, test complete. Please give your scores, officers and guest judges. Everyone on the observation platform was given a scoring sheet. Long Qian and Zhang Guojian, among others, filled in 100 without hesitation. Only Fang Heng hesitated, ultimately writing 70. Long Qian chuckled awkwardly, no rush, Professor Fang, let's continue. There's more to come. In Long Qian's view, Fang Heng had already personally experienced the mecha's speed, so it wasn't surprising that he didn't find it particularly impressive. However, what was about to be tested were the rotary Gatling gun and the general-purpose automatic high-energy cannon mounted on the mecha. These were things Fang Heng had never seen or heard of before, and they would definitely earn him a perfect score. Phoenix 1 Mech Test, Subject 2, Ground Assault Capability. The commander's words were barely out of the distance when the surrounding scenery rapidly changed. A tiny flag, practically non-existent, was planted at the far end of the test range. In this test, the mech needed to knock down that flag to pass. However, the flag was outside the mech's firing range, and it was moving. The mech needed to constantly approach the flag to maintain sufficient range. As the mech advanced, it would be hindered by various traps. It needed to avoid or destroy these traps to continue, and also destroy as many rising targets as possible along the way. The more targets hit, the better the score. Ready, begin. With a commander's order, the mech moved forward swiftly. The first thing to stop the mech was a chain blockade. Bang bang bang, the mech swung its Gatling gun, sweeping across the area, and in the blink of an eye, the chains scattered across the ground. Obstacles cleared, the mech resumed its rapid advance, the rotating Gatling gun relentlessly firing. Targets in every direction, front, back, left, right, were hit one by one. The next obstacle was a net of fire. Boom, with a deafening roar, the net of fire aimed at the mech was instantly blasted to smithereens. Even the debris on the ground remained ablaze. Truly worthy of being Long Qian's most admired artillery. Then, several large tree trunks were hurled at the mech. Mud. Spikes. Later, the mech inching closer to the flag, which, according to its original design, seemed to sense the mech's approach. Each time it entered the mech's firing range, the flag would move rapidly, its direction unpredictable, its trajectory erratic. Finally, the mech seized its opportunity. A backward leap. Timed perfectly, it fired. Bang! A deafening roar erupted, sending up a flurry of snowflakes. When the snow had all fallen, the flag had been struck by the mech. Holy crap, that's awesome, awesome! Ha ha ha! Long Qian couldn't help but shout with joy. At the same time, thunderous applause erupted from both the stage and the audience. Everyone cheered with jubilation. Damn, even a certain Lei Wu movie isn't this good. Woohoo, our mech, so strong, so strong. If we had invented this decades earlier, what would we be afraid of? Ha ha ha, we could have easily crushed them, leaving them utterly defeated, a great weapon of a nation. At this moment, it was as if everyone's blood was ignited. They wished they were the ones piloting the mechas, galloping across the battlefield. Holy crap, that's so cool, so awesome. Driving mechas, conquering the battlefield, and becoming invincible on the battlefield. The driving test is over. Officers and guest judges, please give your scores. The scoring announcement came from the front, and Long Qian and the others happily awarded full marks. Their mouths were practically agape with joy. Fang Heng frowned, seemingly still hesitant. He glanced at the mecha again, confirming his judgment. Finally, Fang Heng gave a score of 71 points, PFFT. PFFT, Long Qian instantly became displeased. Oh dear, Professor Fang, did your hands shake? I could understand giving you 70 last time. After all, you're a man who's piloted mechas. But this time is different. This time, bang bang bang. Why did you only give 71? Only 1 point more than last time. Isn't that a bit unfair? Long Qian, being from the military, spoke bluntly and didn't mince words. At this moment, Zhang Guojian also sensed something was amiss and couldn't help but ask directly, young friend Fang Heng, do you feel there's something wrong with this? Chapter 38 Problems with the Added Mech. At this moment, Zhang Guojian also sensed something was amiss and couldn't help but ask directly, young friend Fang Heng, do you think something's wrong? Fang Heng didn't answer directly but instead asked, don't you guys think the mech's movements just now were a bit awkward? Oh. Zhang Guojian and Long Qian exchanged glances and shook their heads, indicating they couldn't see anything wrong. Sigh, you guys, I really don't know where you were looking just now. Don't you think the mech missed several opportunities just now? It could have hit the flag a few times before. After Fang Heng said this, Zhang Guojian and Long Qian recalled the mech's movements just now, and what Fang Heng said seemed to make sense. Just now, the flag had indeed entered the mech's firing range several times, and it was relatively close to the center. If they could have attacked in time, they would have cleared the level much earlier. However, the mech's cannon wasn't aimed correctly at the time. By the time the long cannon turned around and the muzzle was aligned with the flag's original direction, the flag had already been moved away. The mech missed its chance because of this. Zhang Guojian suddenly realized, so you mean, that's right, Fang Heng directly took over, saying, the problem is that the universal automatic high-energy cannon on the mech's right arm is too long, which has seriously affected the mech's aiming and attack timeliness. It's like when you're training, you can lock onto a target in an instant, but you can't aim because of the equipment. Commander Long should understand this better than we do, right? Fang Heng said, glancing at Long Qian. Long Qian's heart skipped a beat. Being unable to aim in time was the most taboo thing for them. They didn't strive for perfect accuracy in training, but having time to aim and being delayed was definitely a serious mistake. Realizing the seriousness of the situation, Long Qian didn't know what to say, and his previously burning gaze dimmed. He thought that by installing the most advanced weapons, he could unleash the mech's maximum performance, but unexpectedly. Fang Heng thought for a moment, then looked at Long Qian and asked directly, could the length of the general-purpose automatic high-energy cannon be shortened appropriately? Long Qian was speechless for a moment, then turned his gaze to Zhang Guojian. Indeed, he couldn't answer Fang Heng's question, because these technologies were all developed by Zhang Guojian's team, and Long Qian, as the commander here, was only responsible for equipment testing and use. Zhang Guojian shook his head. It's impossible. If we really have to change it, it's practically a complete redesign, which is far too difficult, practically impossible, and the cost would be too high. Zhang Guojian's eyes were fixed on the cannon in front of him, and he said thoughtfully, the current parameters of this cannon are already internationally recognized as optimal. If we forcibly shorten the length of the cannon, then the shell won't have enough thrust at the moment of ignition. This will not only affect the cannon's range, but also its accuracy, the flight stability of the shell, and so on. As he spoke, Zhang Guojian's brows furrowed deeply. Seeing this, Long Qian quickly spoke to ease the tension, saying, haha, actually, there's no need for everyone to worry so much. This mech is already very advanced. It only has a few minor flaws. Compared to the days of Millid and rifles, we now possess world-leading mech technology, which is quite remarkable. That's true. Fang Heng nodded, then continued, but, since we can't shorten it, have you considered replacing it with a new weapon, a shorter weapon, more suitable for mech combat, a new weapon? The perceptive Zhang Guojian seemed to immediately grasp Fang Heng's implication. Zhang Guojian's eyes instantly lit up. Young friend Fang Heng, you mean you have a new weapon that can? The more he spoke, the more excited Zhang Guojian became. If Fang Heng really had such a weapon, it would be a perfect match for the mech. After all, the mech itself was manufactured by Fang Heng, and now everything is about original materials, including mech equipment. Long Qian wasn't stupid either. His earlier dejected expression vanished, replaced by a look of pure joy. Professor Fang, you really have a suitable weapon? Really? Then hurry up and show it to me. Hurry up and show it to me. Even before seeing Fang Heng's weapon, Long Qian's eyes were already shining. He truly was a martial arts fanatic. Fang Heng directly said, weapons? I definitely don't have any. Then what you just said, but I recently developed a new repair tool, the energy laser gun, PFFT. PFFT, you're kidding me, aren't you? You think that's just a repair tool? Damn it, even a 3-year-old wouldn't believe it. Actually, the difference between an energy laser gun and an energy laser cannon isn't that great, it just needs a slight modification. Hiss, young friend Fang Heng, you're truly a genius. You've developed another new invention in such a short time. Zhang Guojian had almost called Fang Heng a little monster just now. Damn, that's terrifying. Although Zhang Guojian hadn't yet witnessed the structure and power of the energy laser gun, just from the name and Fang Heng himself, he knew it was no simple invention. Professor Fang, where's your treasure? I'll send someone over right away. Long Qian gripped Fang Heng's arms excitedly, his eyes gleaming. Fang Heng rolled his eyes. Do you think I'm a donkey in a production team? Even a pig wouldn't be that fast. Wait a little longer, it should be soon. I'm sorry, Professor Fang, I was just too excited. Long Qian awkwardly scratched the back of his head, saying apologetically. Just then, Fang Heng suddenly said seriously, there's another problem. Huh? What other problem? Long Qian and Zhang Guojian exchanged glances, unsure what Fang Heng was referring to this time. Commander Long, could you have the personnel at the front report on the mechas battery levels? Fang Heng didn't say it outright, but instead kept it a secret. Chapter 39 I suddenly got a girlfriend. Commander Long, could you have the personnel at the front report a mech's battery level? Fang Heng didn't say it outright, instead keeping him in suspense. Long Qian was somewhat confused. This is... Fang Heng smiled without saying anything, so Long Qian simply asked his subordinates to report the mech's current battery level. Reporting, Commander Long, the mech's battery was 100% before the test, and it's currently at 68%, with 3 backup power supplies still in use. Professor Fang, what do you think of this? Listening to his subordinates' report, Long Qian didn't find anything amiss. 68%. Tisk tisk tisk. It's already used up a third of the power after only 2 rounds of testing. Long Kim chimed in. With such intense activity, the internal systems must be running at high speed, so it's normal for the power to be consumed quickly. We still have 3 backup power supplies that haven't been used yet. Professor Fang, we don't need to worry about that, but Fang Heng immediately shook his head. No, since it's equipment, it should be lightly equipped. Too many backup power supplies are too cumbersome, and a single power supply isn't enough. How about this, Lao Zheng? I happen to have an idea about batteries. I'll give you the blueprints in a while. Ha ha ha, sure, then we thank our young friend Fang Heng in advance. In Zheng Guojian's view, the current lithium-carbon batteries were already top-notch, and Fang Heng, no matter how skilled, wasn't in this area. After all, everyone has their own expertise. So he didn't take it seriously at this point. Perhaps Fang Heng was just being modest. Several more rounds of mecha tests followed, including high jump, long jump, and weightlifting, but Fang Heng showed almost no interest in any of them. When the test ended, Zheng Guojian invited Fang Heng to visit Kyoto, but Fang Heng politely declined. The next day, as soon as he returned to the village entrance, Fang Heng sent Qin Ming back, as being chauffeured around all the time was too high profile. Dad, I'm back, Fang Heng walked in excitedly. Oh! Fang Heng's smile froze in midair. And who is this? Inside, Fang Jing was greeting a strange woman. If it weren't for the significant age difference between them, Fang Heng would have almost suspected that his father had found him a stepmother. The woman was stunningly beautiful, even the way she held chopsticks was graceful and alluring. Her name was Zhou Mingyao, 25 years old, and currently the female president of BID Automobile Company, Limited. Young and promising. A true businesswoman. And what was most captivating was her mature and sophisticated aura, making every man fall at her feet. Even Fang Heng was stunned. Where has that brat been gallivanting off to again? Even his girlfriend needs me, his father. To greet her, Fang Jing walked over to Fang Heng, pursed his lips, and whispered, "You're quite the character, aren't you? You always seem so quiet and reserved. I never knew you had such a treasure hidden away." "What? A girlfriend? Where did I get a girlfriend? The one from middle school? The one from high school? Please, we broke up a long time ago, and even if we didn't, it's not this one." Gurgle gurgle. "I don't know her at all." No. Fang Heng was completely dumbfounded, not knowing what to say for a moment. "Dad, what are you talking about? I don't even know her." Kid, don't be scared. Although you're dating now, your dad won't scold you. After all, your dad was also, cough cough. "Dad, listen to me, I really don't know her. I don't even know who she is, how old she is, or where she's from." 1,000 curses ran through Fang Heng's mind. "How am I supposed to explain this to you to believe me?" Son, don't be afraid. A woman 3 years older than you is her lucky charm. Your dad is an open-minded person. I won't break you two up. PFFT. Fang Heng, unable to contain his anger, strode up to Zhou Mingyao, his tone fierce as he said, Who are you? Why do you say you're my girlfriend? Do we even know each other?" "Fang Heng, how dare you talk like that, you brat? You're always bullying Mingyao, aren't you?" Seeing the situation escalating, Fang Jing immediately stepped in to support Zhang Mingyao. "Do you know that Mingyao came all the way from Kyoto just to see you, and she was afraid you'd scold her, so she wouldn't let me call you. Is it easy for a girl like her? Mingyao told me that you're always bullying her." Fang Jing brandished the spatula in his hand, as if Fang Heng dared to yell at Zhang Mingyao again, the spatula would come crashing down. At this moment, Zhou Mingyao also immediately stood up from her chair. White shirt, stockings, high heels, curves and a beautiful figure on full display. "Uncle, don't be angry. Why don't you go ahead and do your work?" "We too." Hearing this, Fang Jing revealed a sly smile. You too." Zhou Mingyao gently pushed Fang Jing. "Oh, uncle, you go ahead and do your work." Okay, I'll go ahead and do my work." Fang Jing readily agreed. "You brat, treat me well, it's almost New Year's, it's not easy for me to come here on my own initiative." After Fang Jing went to do his work, Fang Heng's face immediately darkened. "Who are you? Why are you impersonating my girlfriend? You must be Fang Heng." "I'm sorry, I'm from Biati." "Why are you impersonating my girlfriend?" Fang Heng stared intently at Zhou Mingyao, not hiding anything, pressing for an answer. PFFT. Seeing Fang Heng's amusing appearance, Zhou Mingao couldn't help but laugh. Of course, her movements were very small, full of ladylike grace. Zhou Mingao couldn't help but ask back. Isn't it good to have a girlfriend like me? She'd been the center of attention since childhood, class beauty, school beauty. Pretty names are a dime a dozen, but her beauty was 1 in a million. Okay, then that's it. Fang Heng's brows gradually relaxed, and the corners of his mouth slightly turned up. Since you say you're my girlfriend, then can't I? As he spoke, Fang Heng suddenly took a step forward. You, startled, Zhou Mingao hurriedly retreated. Behind her was a wall, but luckily Fang Heng placed his hand on the back of her head in time, otherwise Zhou Mingao would have really hit the jackpot. Now, Zhou Mingao's face paled slightly. What do you want to do? Her tone was urgent, somewhat panicked. What do you think? Didn't you say you're my girlfriend? Well, since you're my girlfriend, the two were very close, and Fang Heng's warm breath brushed against Zhou Mingao's neck, making her feel strangely uncomfortable. Zhou Mingao pushed Fang Heng away and said, Okay, I'll tell you the truth. Chapter 40, Such important blueprints, and you actually sent them by express delivery. Zhou Mingao shoved Fang Heng away, saying, Okay, I'll tell you the truth, I'm from BID Company. I came here to discuss a collaboration with you, but when I arrived yesterday, you weren't here, only your dad was. So, Fang Heng, so you stayed at my house overnight. Zhou Mingao rolled her eyes, continuing, I brought a gift, intending to become friends with you first before discussing cooperation. I don't know if your dad misheard or what, so you lied to my dad. Fang Heng's gaze remained fixed on Zhou Mingao, unwavering, even amidst her fluctuating emotions. Oh, don't ask these questions, it's all a misunderstanding. Zhou Mingao felt she was making things worse, so she simply changed the subject, saying, I mainly came here to discuss a collaboration with you, HMPH, you little brat. Seeing this, Fang Heng didn't bother arguing with her. He plopped down on the sofa, crossed his legs, and said, Okay, what kind of cooperation do you want to discuss? Fang Heng was quite willing to listen to collaboration that the beautiful woman had come to discuss. We, BID, are a company that mainly produces automobiles. We hope to outsource the car warranty service to your repair shop, and will split the profits 50-50. Fang Heng pointed at Zhou Mingao and then at himself, smiling as he spoke. Will split it 50-50, PFFT, you? Zhou Mingao felt offended. Fang Heng and Zhou Mingao stared at each other, neither of them speaking. Just as the atmosphere between them reached its lowest point, Fang Jing came out of the kitchen with dishes. Come on, let's eat, HMPH. After dinner, Zhou Mingao was naturally sent away by Fang Heng. As for the cooperation they had just discussed. Fang Heng didn't believe someone who dared to impersonate his girlfriend. No matter how beautiful she was, how fragrant she smelled, last stand in the following period, Fang Heng diligently continued with his old profession. Of course, he also continued inventing small tools. He had just sent a set of blueprints to Zhang Guojian and his team via express delivery. Kyushu Secret Research Institute. Professor Zhang, here's a letter from you. Okay, leave it here for now, I'll look at it when I'm done, Zhang Guojian said, wiping his sweat. But when he saw that the sender was Fang Heng, he couldn't resist opening it. Why did that brat suddenly send me a letter? The so-called express delivery only contained an envelope. You little devil, I'll see what you're trying to say. With that, Zhang Guojian stopped his work to open the letter. He should have just kept quiet. What he saw shocked him. His pupils dilated. This is actually new battery design blueprints, a quick scan. The longer Zhang Guojian looked at the blueprints, the more his hands trembled. But his gaze never left the design. How is this even possible? He finished the first blueprint, then eagerly moved on to the second, the third. At this moment, he seemed extremely agitated, his eyes red and on the verge of tears. Something seemed stuck in his throat, as if he wanted to speak but couldn't. Occasionally, he could be heard muttering, Genius. After a long time, Zhang Guojian finally finished the last blueprint. He felt enlightened yet deeply confused, as if he understood everything, yet also understood nothing at all. But at least one thing he was absolutely certain of, this battery design concept was absolutely epic-making. If it could really be developed, its significance would be no less than that of a mecha. How could Fang Heng send something so important by express delivery? What if it was leaked? If it gets lost, it'll be even worse. That brat is so careless, so lacking in safety awareness. Never mind, he couldn't worry about that now. Zhang Guojian grabbed the blueprints and headed straight for the research institute. Coincidentally, all 7 of his colleagues were there. Seeing Zhang Guojian staggering, they were all stunned. Old Zhang, what happened? What's wrong? Something terrible has happened. You, look, Zhang Guojian said breathlessly, handing over the blueprints. This was sent by my friend Fang Heng. What could be wrong with something sent by Fang Heng? Could there be something wrong with it? Old Wang and Old Zhou picked up the blueprints with suspicion, and then, holy crap! What they saw was unbelievable. Brilliant. Brilliant, Lao Zhang, this blueprint is brilliant. This is simply a genius idea, far surpassing all batteries currently on the market. Although I don't fully understand it yet, I'm certain that if we can master this blueprint, the battery life of all our batteries will increase several times, even 10 times. This is a revolutionary invention, so ingenious, so ingenious. If this blueprint were released, who knows what kind of uproar it would cause. The professors, after seeing the blueprint, were unable to calm down for a long time, as if they were all immersed in it. Then, let's not delay. Shall we start researching right away? The impatient Lao Zhou was already eager to try. This caused a huge stir. Let's go, we'll be right back to the lab, but we have projects running in our lab right now, and besides, we don't have any battery-related equipment. Then, what do? We can't just leave these blueprints sitting here, can we? That would be such a waste. I remember Kyoto University has a lab that has battery-related equipment, and they even have a batch of newly purchased equipment. Then let's go there, Team Leader Wang said decisively, his eyes practically shining. But Team Leader, Kyoto University is at least 30 or 40 kilometers away from here. What if we encounter someone with ill intentions, and Kyoto University is a university, with lots of people and opinions, which would be bad for our research? Team Leader Wang said confidently, you can rest assured about that. I'll report the situation to my superiors and ask for help. I believe they'll support us when they know about such important research. Indeed, even a slight increase in battery storage capacity is already a significant improvement, let alone this design which could increase battery efficiency several times over. Chapter 41 A quiet night, an astonishing event. The night was exceptionally peaceful and serene. Gentle moonlight streamed down, and a few people strolled along the streets, listening to the natural sounds unique to this season. Meanwhile, Wen Tao, the president of Kyoto University, had fallen asleep early after a busy day. Ring ring ring, ring ring ring, a rapid ringing phone jolted Wen Tao awake. He rubbed his sleepy eyes, put on his glasses, and picked up his phone from the bedside table. Who is it, so late? Yawning. Many people know that being a university counselor is tough, but few know that being a university president isn't easy either. Since becoming president, Wen Tao has almost never dared to turn off his phone, even with the internet off, because he never knows when, which student, or which teacher might need to contact him. This starts with 9, still half asleep. Wen Tao instantly snapped back to reality. As the president of Kyoto University, he knew that numbers starting with 9 were not ordinary. Some people will never see a phone call like this in their entire lives, because its appearance can only mean something terrible has happened. Without the slightest hesitation, he answered the phone with utmost concentration. Hello, are you Mr. Wen Tao, the president of Kyoto University? A cold voice came from the other end. Yes, I am Wen Tao. May I ask who you are? Wen Tao tried his best to calm himself and keep a clear head. I am Su Jian, the captain of the security team. Due to work requirements, we need to use your school's electrical engineering laboratory building. We hope for your cooperation. You don't need to ask anything or do anything now. The security team captain will verify my identity later, and then you just need to do as he says. Okay. Wen Tao picked up his phone and saw that the other party had already hung up. If the call log hadn't been still there, Wen Tao would have really wondered if he was dreaming. The captain of the security team personally called him, and wanted to use the entire electrical engineering laboratory building. This was something that had never happened in Wen Tao's more than 10 years as principal. Could it be a scam? After all, right now. But the other party claimed to be the captain of the security team. Never mind, I'll just wait for Lao Lin's call. Huff huff huff. Wen Tao took a deep breath, trying to calm himself down. Just then, The phone lit up, and the caller was none other than Lin Bingcheng, the captain of the security team. Hey, Lao Lin, someone claiming to be the captain of the security team just called me. Do you think it might be President He? Calm down, don't worry, it's absolutely true. Our security team just received a notification too. Lao Lin, what happened? Is there some problem at my school that has alarmed some big shot? As the president of Kyoto University, He Wentao had known Lin Bingcheng for a long time, and the two had a very good relationship, so he couldn't help but. Stop, Lao He, there's no time to explain this to you now. Quickly notify everyone at your school. If there are people in the laboratory building, let them out. If there's no one, don't let anyone near, that's it, beep beep beep. Hello. He Wentao was dumbfounded. What on earth happened? Even Lao Lin wouldn't say or didn't know. Now, He Wentao didn't dare to hesitate any longer, after all. There were some things he couldn't afford to delay. He immediately dialed the phone number of the teacher in charge of the electrical engineering laboratory building. Hello, Professor Zhang, is anyone still in the electrical engineering lab building? Right now, haha, principal, are you kidding me? Who has time to joke with you? The sudden loudspeaker startled Professor Zhang so much he almost dropped his phone. Yes, there should still be quite a few students working on the competition experiments. After all, Professor Zhang hadn't finished speaking. Immediately tell them to leave the electrical engineering lab building, and also, starting at midnight tonight, don't let any students approach the electrical engineering lab building. Hearing the principal's words, Professor Zhang's brows furrowed immediately. But principal, the students' data is running in the lab right now, it's for an international competition, and now suddenly interrupted. What happened? Professor Zhang, don't ask so many questions, just do as instructed. People from above are here, don't ask, you don't know. Just as He Wentao was making the call, various departments in the district where Kyoto University is located also received a notification. The Ministry of Transportation immediately cleared all traffic on all roads from the East Ward to Kyoto University. The marketing department immediately notified all nearby late-night food stalls to suspend operations. The district chief personally directed operations, prioritizing the overall situation. Upon receiving the call, all departments were on high alert and reacted swiftly. All personnel assemble, motorcycle patrols will clear the way first, all vehicles are prohibited from using their horns. Clear the main roads first. Under these orders, staff from all locations responded immediately. Within minutes, the main roads along the route were cleared. Except for some peripheral auxiliary roads and side streets. What's going on? Isn't this section of road the busiest in Kyoto? Why can't I see a single car? Hey, you can eat your late night snack first. I've been waiting at the red light for over 10 minutes, and I don't know what's going on. What? Just go through a broken red light? What are you thinking? The next lane is full of staff, perhaps something unexpected happened ahead. Everyone conscientiously refrained from honking or running red lights. However, amidst the traffic jam, there were quite a few people swearing and cursing, spewing out all sorts of classic, pungent phrases. What the hell, what's going on? Where are the staff? What are they doing? A discordant voice came from a BMW. Inside were a middle-aged, greasy man and a flamboyantly dressed woman. Oh dear, why did you stop? Speed up, baby, we're in a hurry to get home, the woman in the passenger seat said coquettishly. Coming, baby, thank you for your hard work. The middle-aged man's face changed faster than the weather when facing the woman. He instantly became all smiles. Don't worry, baby, I have some influence in Kyoto, I'll figure something out. With that, the middle-aged man immediately made a phone call. Hey, Brother Joe, sorry to bother you so late. Knowing this, you still bother me. The Brother Joe the middle-aged man was talking about was already incredibly busy. If it weren't for their close relationship, he probably wouldn't have answered the phone. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 42, Clear all main roads within 10 minutes. Ahem. Brother Joe, I'm so sorry, but I've run into a bit of trouble right now and I wanted to ask you, beep beep beep, hello. Hearing the phone hang up, the middle-aged man was inexplicably enraged. Go to hell. I've always treated you well, and you hang up on me at this crucial moment. Are you kidding me? Beep. The greasy middle-aged man slammed his fist heavily on the steering wheel. Little did he know, the so-called Brother Joe was currently navigating the traffic jam, trying to clear the way for the drivers. In this situation, even if he had 100 lives, he wouldn't dare abandon his post. Just as the greasy middle-aged man was at his wit's end, knock knock knock, his car window was knocked on, and standing outside was a traffic worker. HMPH, the greasy middle-aged man rolled down his window defiantly. Before the other person could speak, he preemptively launched an attack. The red light has been on for over 10 minutes. What were you doing all this time? Why are you only arriving now? Do you know how precious my time is? Every minute is worth a year's salary for you. Can you afford to waste it? The greasy middle-aged man became more and more agitated, his tone growing increasingly fierce. However, the traffic worker didn't stoop to his level, speaking politely and respectfully. I'm sorry to trouble you, sir. We received instructions to temporarily clear this section of the road. Please cooperate. The woman in the passenger seat, eager to stir up trouble, said provocatively, Oh, honey, I just saw several cars pass by. He clearly looks down on us, refusing to let us pass. He doesn't respect you at all, adding fuel to the fire. Hearing this, the greasy middle-aged man instantly flew into a rage. Sorry? If sorry worked, what would we need the police for? I'm rushing to pick up a big order, and now I am delayed. Are you going to compensate me? Can you afford to compensate me? The traffic worker frowned slightly, then calmly said, I'm sorry, sir, there was an emergency ahead. Please understand, if you're really in a hurry, you can take another route. HMPH, understand? I'll understand your sister. I'll understand you, but who the hell understands me? The greasy middle-aged man immediately escalated the situation, slamming his fist on the steering wheel and shouting. After several unsuccessful attempts to reason with him, the traffic worker finally understood that he had encountered a tough nut to crack. This guy was completely impervious to reason. He immediately picked up the pager. Hello, this is 0239, 0239. There's a driver on Jinghu Road who's refusing to cooperate. License plate number 38438. Requesting assistance. Over. The traffic worker had barely put down the pager when he saw flashing headlights approaching the middle-aged man. Although there were no horns at night, the distinctive and rhythmic flashing lights still startled him. What's going on? Before he could react, several motorcycle police cars appeared around his BMW. Sir, please cooperate with our work. If you have any complaints, you can come to the station afterwards. Just as the middle-aged man was about to say something, suddenly, bang, a dull thud as a door opened. Looking closer, he saw the owner of a Ferrari being asked to get out of his car. Clearly, that guy was also uncooperative. Sir, you're being taken back for obstructing official business. Your vehicle is impounded. We'll discuss everything at the station. Before the Ferrari owner could react, a tow truck had already arrived. It seemed they were going to tow the car away. At the same time, the Ferrari owner was invited to hand over his car. The guy was only in his early 20s, probably a wealthy second-generation heir. But now, no matter what car you drive, no matter your background, they're just going to tow it away. Even if your father is the richest man in Beijing, it won't matter. Seeing this, the middle-aged greasy man panicked. Hiss, this is definitely not simple. It looks like things are about to change here. Sorry, I'll cooperate immediately. I'll cooperate. If you tell me to go east, I won't go west, then I understand, I'll change routes right away, I won't cause you any trouble. The greasy middle-aged man was no longer as arrogant as before, and now he said with a forced smile, Thank you for your hard work, thank you for your hard work. After saying that, he drifted away without saying another word. He kept glancing at the rearview mirror, afraid that the workers behind him would catch up and invite him back for tea. Oh dear, honey, why did you listen to what they said? The woman in the passenger seat twisted her graceful waist and said in a green tea-like tone, They told you to take a detour, so you take a detour? How embarrassing is that? Shut the hell up, the greasy middle-aged man said sharply, glaring at her, and then slapped her across the face. Slap, it was very loud. You hit me? You actually dared to hit me, the woman covered her already red face and screamed. HMPH, so what if I hit you? I'm hitting you. You son of a bitch, do you know that because of your instigating words, I almost got arrested. You dare not cooperate with the higher-ups? Today I'm not only going to beat you up, I'm going to send you flying." The greasy middle-aged man was getting angrier and angrier. If he hadn't been a little too sharp-eyed just now, he might be the one being taken away now. After all, he was already surrounded. Hiss. Thinking about it now, he still felt a little scared. In less than 10 minutes, all the main roads from Jinghu Road to Kyoto University had been cleared. Apart from the cars being handed over, there wasn't a single vehicle in sight. "Brother, what's going on today? The boss told us to clear this whole area, but he didn't say how long it would last. Now everyone's just waiting here." That's right, nothing's happened around here, so why? SHH, keep your voices down, or you'll be the ones in the station tomorrow. The worker called brother quickly reminded them not to talk too much. Hiss. Is it that serious? Big brother, do you know what happened? Don't ask, I don't know. You guys have been wearing these clothes for quite a while now. When have you ever seen anything like this? The older brother gave a knowing look, and the younger brother instantly understood. A big shot was traveling. Something important at the university. Or? He immediately covered his mouth. This kind of thing was not to be discussed. His eyes were wide open. Although he didn't know what was going to happen next, he didn't want to know right now. Nor did he dare to know. Chapter 43 Signal Blocking, 8 Professors in Person. Midnight. A fleet of specially designed vehicles sped along the newly cleared roads. They arrived at Kyoto University in no time. Tap tap tap, advancing formation, until they reached the electrical engineering building at Kyoto University, and then, tap tap tap. They dispersed, guarding the various entrances and exits. Fully equipped and brimming with spirit, they were awe-inspiring. Leading the team was Qin Ming. He led a small group quickly into the electrical engineering building, while the rest waited outside. "The laboratories here have been temporarily requisitioned," Qin Ming announced loudly, holding the occupancy permit. "From now on, do not touch or take anything except yourselves." As soon as Qin Ming finished speaking, his men began sealing the equipment one by one with seals. "Oh dear, my experiment is already taking shape. I'm just one step away from finishing. I've done the battery chemistry simulation. No way. I was thinking of submitting the report tomorrow, but now, wait a minute, my data is halfway through. It'll be finished soon, PFFT." Before the student could finish speaking, the computer screen was sealed shut. And this wasn't an isolated incident. Many people had similar experiences. Although they had received advance notice, some of their data was already halfway through, some were still simulating, and some. How could they give up halfway? This was half a year's worth of hard work. Of course, before this, they just assumed some leader was coming to inspect. But they never expected that their data, which was a second slower, would be instantly sealed off. Even if it finished, they couldn't move it anymore. Don't panic, everyone. This is just a temporary measure. Please understand. If there are any special circumstances, please contact the school first, and we will handle them one by one. Please leave now." Hearing this, the students reluctantly left their seats, watching their hard work being. "Why do I feel so annoyed? Even though this shutdown is only temporary, sigh, I don't know what they're planning. Shutting down all our equipment right away, is it really necessary? This has never happened before at Kyoto University, right? Not just at Kyoto University, it's never happened at any university in the country." One student skillfully pulled out his phone, sighing. Hiss. "Well, in that case, I should at least post something on WhatsApp Moments." Just open WhatsApp. A striking notification appeared before his eyes. "The greatest distance in the world is without internet, PFFT. What's going on? Why is there no internet?" Everyone else, seeing this, couldn't help but pull out their phones to check. Without exception, they all had no internet. Number 2G, just a crossover. Wait a minute, we've had 5G coverage here for ages, how could there be no signal? Yeah, I was just carrying a girl in the canyon. Holy crap, is the signal blocked here? A single sentence snapped everyone out of their daze. Hiss, signal blocked? What's going on? Could something be wrong with our lab building? Could someone be using it improperly? You mean, no, I don't think so. This is the electrical engineering lab building, what can we possibly do here? It's not like the information security lab building next door, then, and so, Amidst the discussions, the students all left the electrical engineering lab building. Shortly after all the arrangements were complete, a long, black, specially made vehicle drove out from Jinghe Road. Attention everyone, the leader's vehicle is arriving immediately, please make way immediately. Staff on various road sections received the notification almost simultaneously. After clearing the roads, roadblocks were set up to prevent other vehicles from entering. Upon receiving notification of the leader's arrival, the staff at the scene quickly cleared the roadblocks to allow the vehicle to pass through rapidly. The specially made black vehicle drove straight to the foot of the electrical engineering building at Kyoto University. 8 professors alighted, along with Su Jian, the security captain, who was carrying a safe. The moment they stepped out, everyone outside immediately saluted and quickly made way for them. "Professors, you've arrived." Upon recognizing the newcomers, Qin Ming hurriedly stepped forward to greet them. "Captain," but as soon as they entered the laboratory, the professors were already impatient. There was no time to pay attention to him. Quick, get the blueprints out. We need to experiment right away. I want to see what treasure that brat has given us this time." Ha. Yeah, Fang Heng has so much confidence in us, he gave us the blueprints directly, so this time we must do a great job. Open the scientific battery simulation system. Finished cell testing. Potential induction. No, this shouldn't be the case. This data is for the static line current, so the positive electrode should be. Is it because we don't have enough of this material? What does this parameter mean? Every time the professors researched for a period of time, they would discover a new problem, and because of this, each new discovery would overturn their previous conclusions. From the moon being directly overhead to the moon setting in the west, from being pitch black to the sky just beginning to lighten, the professors had been working continuously for more than 5 hours. But they weren't sleepy at all. If it weren't for their increasingly obvious dark circles, others would have thought they had just gotten up. I feel like this wire should be connected to the positive terminal. Let me try, old Joe said, unable to resist the urge to experiment. Forget it, team leader Wang stopped old Joe. Let's ask Fang Heng to come over tomorrow and explain it. I feel like we've been working on this for so long without any substantial progress. Too slow, old Joe. But young friend Fang Heng has already given us the blueprints directly, which means he's been very busy lately. Then we should. Zhang Guojian looked at the computer data in front of him and said helplessly, none of the things young friend Fang Heng researches are simple. If he doesn't come, who can do it? Sigh. I don't know whether to say he's smart or too smart. The internal design of this battery is far more complex than they imagined. Chapter 44, Traffic Suspended, Millions of Students Demand Exposure. The next day, on Huaxin Road next to Kyoto University, a large crowd had gathered at the intersection. They were all young, likely high school students, but their emotions were volatile. Today was the day of the Kyoto University 8 school joint examination, and the blocked road was their only route to school. Let us through. We have our exams today. What if we're late? Today is the once-a-term 8 school joint examination. Unlike any other exam, what's the point of setting up roadblocks here? This is a highway, a public road. Are they not letting anyone pass? Keep your voices down. Look, there isn't a single car around here. Something serious seems to have happened. HMPH, I don't care. I have to get there today. I promised my teacher I'd get first place this time. If we're delayed any longer, we won't be able to get into the exam hall. Some of the more impulsive students, without thinking, headed straight for the roadblocks. Seeing this, the workers at the intersection were at their wits' end. He knew these students were there to take an exam. After all, his son was taking one too, but his assignment was to stand guard here, set up roadblocks, and clear the passage, temporarily prohibiting passage, but he hadn't received any information about when passage would resume. Excuse me, student, please step back. Our superiors have ordered this section of the road to be temporarily closed. Does your superior's order mean we're not allowed to take the exam? It has to be said, educated people are quite sharp-tongued. Hearing this, the staff member quickly denied it, saying, no, that's not it. Then why won't you let us pass? You know there are 29,000 students going to take the exam today. Are you planning to leave us all here? Sorry, our orders are that passage is not allowed. You can report the exam issue to the relevant departments. We will immediately remove the roadblocks upon receiving new orders. We sincerely apologize for the inconvenience caused, but this is our duty. Please understand, no matter what they said, the staff member wouldn't budge. To prevent students from impulsively trying to force their way through, the staff member even stood in front of the roadblocks. But as time went on, the area behind them became completely dark, with more and more students arriving. What would happen if this got out to the media? What consequences would it have? Every staff member present was on edge, but they dared not relax for a moment. Just then, a tall, burly man arrived at a roadblock with a young man. The young man looked to be around 10 years old, and appeared to be a student, just like the others. "Hello, passage is temporarily prohibited here." Seeing that the man was about to cross the line, the staff member quickly stepped forward to stop him. The man didn't say much, but simply took out an ID from his pocket and showed it to the other person. At first, the staff member thought it was a student who had called his parents, but the next second, he was completely dumbfounded. Qin Ming, deputy captain of the Kyoto security team. Holy crap! The security team. The staff member, his hands trembling, handed the documents to Qin Ming, forcing a smile and saying, "Sir, please come in." The young man glanced around and muttered, "Why is there such a fuss?" Everyone was stunned to see the two walking along the blocked section of road, but their hearts were filled with more confusion and indignation. Why were they allowed through so easily? Holy crap, what's going on? Are they getting special treatment? Which school is that student from? He actually managed to get a father who's an official. Oh, I get it. I'll call my dad right now. My dad's the governor. Why can they go through but we can't? Are you giving us special treatment? Do you believe I'll call the media right now and expose your behavior? Some students, adept at protecting their rights, immediately pressure the staff member. PFFT. The staff member was inwardly seething with frustration. That was the security team. How could I not let them through? It wasn't that he wanted special treatment, it's just that the person's identity was really too special. Maybe that person had official business to attend to, who could afford to delay them. But there were also many people here. If he was accidentally exposed, how could he continue working? Just as the staff member was in a panic, caught in a dilemma, a life-saving voice finally came through his earpiece. "Attention all personnel, evacuate in 1 minute, and restore order to the scene." I repeat, evacuate in 1 minute, and restore order to the scene. Phew, the staff member's heart finally settled down, and he said to the students with a happy face, "Everyone, be quiet, in 1 minute, order will be restored to the scene, and you can pass normally." The students calmed down after receiving the news. You should know that many students had just dialed the news hotline, but hadn't been connected yet. Meanwhile, in the electrical laboratory of Kyoto University. "Oh my, young friend Fang Heng, you've finally arrived, the professors said with great joy when they saw the two people who had just entered. It turned out that the young man who had just cleared the level with Qin Ming was Fang Heng. "Old Zhang, you guys are being unfair." Fang Heng immediately found a chair and sat down. The professors were a bit confused. They looked at each other, unable to figure it out, and quickly went to Fang Heng. "Didn't I send you the blueprints? Why did you still make me come over?" "I've been very busy lately." Fang Heng was almost overwhelmed. He was doing repair work at the repair shop, but also conducting research. His energy laser gun research was still incomplete, and he had originally intended for them to study the battery design blueprints themselves first. But Fang Heng never expected the professors to be so impatient. It hadn't even been that long. They had Qin Ming bring him over the very next day. Zhang Guojian smiled politely first and said, "Young friend Fang Heng, we just wanted to invite you here to witness a miracle together, so you've figured it out now." Fang Heng retorted, "Don't think I don't know your old tricks." Ha. The professors scratched the back of their heads and laughed sheepishly. "Luckily, I was prepared," Fang Heng said with relief as he took something out of his suitcase. Chapter 45 An unexpected encounter with a senior student. Her smile is captivating. "Luckily, I was prepared," Fang Heng said with a sense of relief as he took something out of his suitcase. "This is a battery." The professors almost screamed when they saw what Fang Heng had taken out. They originally thought that Fang Heng was already amazing enough to design the blueprints, but they didn't expect that he had become so monstrous as to have made a finished product. "That's half right, this is only a semi-finished product," Fang Heng said slowly as he placed the battery on the experimental table. "It's my fault, it's all my fault for writing the battery blueprints too complicatedly. This is a semi-finished product from my experiment, which can be used as a reference for you. I believe that with your intelligence, you will definitely be able to fully master this battery technology." The professors touched the battery as if they were touching their girlfriend's face, cherishing it very much. Tisk tisk tisk, this treasure, wait, Fang Heng, this is clearly complete, so why did you say it's a semi-finished product, eh? The member of the Exploding Heaven gang will be the first to disagree with that. That's because it hasn't integrated anti-theft technology yet, haha, we'll talk about that later. Come on, you guys hurry up and study it. Why are you all crowding around me? I'm not some virgin, really. Oh. Zhang Guojian smiled and said, then, young friend Fang Heng, could you guide us from the side? Let's talk about it when you encounter problems. I'm busy. Fang Heng carefully took some things out of his suitcase. Mainly various materials. X7Y titanium. U05 uranium. Young friend Fang Heng, what are you doing? The professors were a little confused. Could these materials be related to battery manufacturing? That shouldn't be the case, they had never heard of any battery using these materials. Get to work. I've only researched half of my energy laser gun, you all called me all this way, so I'm not leaving. Just work here. You guys hurry up and study your batteries, don't worry about me. Fang Heng carefully placed the materials and tools he brought on the table. He skillfully turned on the equipment in the laboratory. He entered research mode in a second. Gurgle, gurgle. An energy laser gun. Another term I've never heard of. Am I not well read? Or are you more well read? The professor's eyes widened, a hint of disbelief flashing in their eyes, but only a hint. They exchanged glances, immediately understanding each other. Young friend Fang Heng, how about we help you? You tell us the principle behind this thing, what's its internal structure, what's it used for, what knowledge does it require, can it shock the world? The professors probably didn't even realize they'd asked over a dozen questions in that short time. Those eager eyes. If you keep this up, I'm going to take the battery blueprints back, Fang Heng said with a half smile. No, don't be impulsive, young friend Fang Heng, you're busy. With that, the professors hurriedly went back to guard the battery blueprints and the half-finished battery, afraid Fang Heng would take them back at any moment. Seeing them like this, Fang Heng couldn't help but smile and shake his head. They were all so old, yet they acted like children. Later, the professors received some phone call and hurriedly said goodbye to Fang Heng and left. It was the first time Fang Heng had seen the professors like this. They seemed even more haggard the moment they answered the phone. What's so urgent? It's gotten serious there. Where do you mean? What's gotten serious? Fang Heng vaguely heard bits and pieces of the professor's conversation. Maybe there's a problem with some research project at the institute. Thinking this, Fang Heng didn't pay much attention and continued his research on the energy laser gun. It wasn't until noon that Fang Heng's stomach was growling loudly. There was no other way, it was time for lunch. Perfect timing to try the food at Kyoto University, the top university in the country. I heard it has the best school cafeteria in the country. I've never been to university before, so experiencing it wouldn't be bad. After a morning of fussing, Fang Heng's face was covered in grime from the lab equipment, but he didn't wash it. This way, he wouldn't be recognized and could keep a low profile. Without further ado, Fang Heng chose the nearest cafeteria. He had to admit, university cafeterias were really nice, luxuriously decorated. Just looking at them made his mouth water. Unlike high school, where it was always the same few dishes, oily and unappetizing, and even worse, having to endure the auntie's shaky hands when he finally found something edible. When Fang Heng arrived at the cafeteria, it was rush hour, and there was a queue at every window. Finally, he reached the front. Fang Heng looked at the options: braised pork ribs, steamed mandarin fish, stir-fried lean meat, all sorts of dishes, every single one of which was one of his favorites. This, and this. Since it was a rare opportunity, Fang Heng decided to treat himself and ordered 4 or 5 dishes. Fang Heng was just taking out his phone to pay. Oh no. He forgot his phone. He must have been in such a rush leaving that he left it in the lab. Young man, hurry up, scan the code or your meal card. There are many students waiting behind you, the auntie at the window shouted through the loudspeaker, and the eyes of those in line immediately fell on Fang Heng, making him feel even more embarrassed. What to do? Go back to get it, but that would mean coming out again, which was a hassle. But if he didn't go back? Just as Fang Heng was at a loss, caught in a dilemma, a very sweet and gentle voice suddenly came from behind him. Did you forget your meal card? Fang Heng turned around. Hiss. High alert. That face, one look and you couldn't take your eyes off her. Fair skin, a slightly round face, delicate features, and a school uniform skirt that further accentuated her unique charm. She's the sweet type. Let me pay for you, love 020. Before Fang Heng could react, she had already paid for his meal. How can I accept this? I'll transfer the money back to you via WeChat. Fang Heng always felt awkward having a girl pay for his meal. Do I look like a man who wants to live off a woman? The girl maintained her charming smile. But didn't you forget your phone? Oh. Chapter 46, on the campus. Belle Senior pulling me into her arms. But didn't you forget your phone? Alright, we're all classmates, it's okay, let's go eat. With that, she enthusiastically ordered food, ignoring Fang Heng. She found a seat by the window. Wow, looks like I'm going to have some luck with women today. Senior Lee Xinren is actually willing to eat at the table next to me. PFFT, please, have some self-respect. You said it's the table next to you, not that you're eating at the same table. What? Senior Xinren's waist is so slim, her legs are so wide and long. When can I have those? Wow. Look, Senior Xinren smiled at us. She smiled at me. Was that a smile for you? That was a smile for that dog in front of her. Woof woof woof. Ha ha ha. Lee Xinren, the undisputed beauty queen of Kyoto University, is everyone's ideal goddess, radiating a magnetic field wherever she goes. Just like now, even just eating, she attracts everyone's fervent gaze, not just boys, but girls too. Just then, a boy blocked their view of the senior. Damn it, you there, get out of the way, you're blocking my view of the senior, you son of a bitch. Believe me, I'll teach you a lesson right now. Damn, I know you're tall, can you not stand? Sit down, the senior is already. PFFT. Some boys were cursing, but the next second, they were all dumbfounded. What's going on? How did he just sit down next to the senior? Who told him to sit down? Come out here. Hello, may I sit here? The one sitting next to Lee Xinren was Fang Heng. Lee Xinren frowned slightly, clearly feeling a little unhappy. Goddesses are known for being aloof, the more beautiful, the colder. Did you already sit down? Oh. Fang Heng couldn't help but pinch his buttocks. Why was he so weak-willed to sit down beforehand? Haha, how about you give me your WeChat ID? I'll transfer the money back to you when we get back. Fang Heng looked at Lee Xinren earnestly, his eyes clear and bright. Hiss, he actually wants my WeChat ID? But that's such an outdated trick. He doesn't know we've used it to death, but you're still unmoved. He wants my WeChat ID looking like that? Doesn't he even look at himself in the mirror? His head is covered in grime, exactly. Even if I don't like rich and handsome guys, I definitely won't like someone as filthy as him. Just you wait, he'll definitely get what's coming to him later. Last time he dared to treat me so aggressively, his grave is practically overgrown with weeds. Sure enough, the school beauty attracts a lot of trouble. Fang Heng had barely sat down when he felt everyone's hostile gazes. Fang Heng felt incredibly aggrieved. He really just wanted to pay back the money for his meal. Besides, what bad intentions could a normal guy like him possibly have? How about this? I'll give you my WeChat ID, you can add me back later, and I'll give you the money back. With that, Fang Heng pulled out his notebook and pen, ready to write down his WeChat ID. PFFT. Wow, bro, you're amazing. How come I didn't think of giving my WeChat ID to my senior? You've got it. I bet she won't accept it. Exactly, this kind of low-level trick to try and get my senior's contact information? No way, just wait, if she doesn't accept it, let's see who's embarrassed. Honestly, Lee Xinren hadn't expected this guy to be so difficult. She was used to people using all sorts of methods to get her contact information. But today, it was the first time someone had asked her for it. His handwriting was actually quite nice, but why was his face so unkempt? Hey, here, this is my WeChat ID, please keep it safe. Just then, Fang Heng finished writing and was about to hand over the note when he suddenly realized he had accidentally dropped his passport photo, and Lee Xinren was staring at it with shining eyes. Fang Heng froze, quickly putting the photo away. He'd been careless this time. He'd intended to bring it with him to get his ID card, but... You are... Lee Xinren looked at him with surprise, a hint of delight in her expression. Seriously? Am I that famous? Even the campus belle of Kyoto University knows me? Ahem. Seeing that he'd been recognized, Fang Heng decided to stop pretending. Okay, I'll be honest, I am Fang Heng, Before he could finish, "You're also a fan of Fang Heng?" Li Xinren asked expectantly, her eyes blinking rapidly. Anyone who didn't know better would think she was swooning. PFFT. Hearing this, Fang Heng's heart sank. "Fang Heng, a fan? The real Fang Heng? I'm here, and you're saying I'm just a fan? No way. I have to explain myself. No, I am Fang Heng. I am, SHH. Li Xinren gestured for Fang Heng to lower his voice. "You don't need to say anything. I know you're a fan of Fang Heng just like me. No, why won't you listen to my explanation? Wait, what did you just say? You're also a fan of Fang Heng?" "Yes," Li Xinren nodded heavily. "I was deeply captivated by Fang Heng's aerial rescue, his scientific spirit." "How do you know he's the older brother? Maybe he's also, Tui. Also what?" Li Xinren was eagerly awaiting Fang Heng's next words. "Nothing, maybe he's also a father." PFFT. PFFT. As soon as he finished speaking, even Fang Heng himself couldn't help but laugh. "Come on, come sit over here, let me tell you something." Li Xinren pulled Fang Heng over, speaking with great enthusiasm. At this moment, Fang Heng, as if possessed, seemed to hear nothing but, smelled a very pleasant scent. So fragrant, slap, am I still dreaming? Someone tell me this isn't real. Senior, don't you know girls should be a little reserved? How could you? I'll have some ideas for my writing later. The school beauty senior will take the initiative to pull me into her arms. PFFT, the cabbage I've admired for over 10 years has been taken by a pig like this. I feel so sorry for her. Sorry for you. It's a good thing Liu Mang isn't here. If you were, he, hiss. Upon hearing this, everyone present couldn't help but break out in a cold sweat. It seems this Liu Mang Sr. is definitely not a good person. Chapter 47. I never even got into Kyoto University. What are you worried about? It's a good thing Liu Mang isn't here right now. If you were, he, speak of the devil, and he appears. Liu Mang was seen excitedly carrying a cake, followed by a few sycophants. Liu Mang was the president of the student council at Kyoto University. His father was the president of the Liu Group, his mother was the dean of studies at Kyoto University, and his older brother was the captain of a certain team. Not only at Kyoto University, but throughout the entire city of Kyoto, his status was renowned. "Xinren, what are you doing here? I even prepared a cake for your birthday today." Li Xinren and Fang Heng's pleasant conversation was abruptly interrupted by Liu Mang. Li Xinren felt a headache coming on whenever she saw Liu Mang. This guy was the most disgusting person ever. He had been pursuing her for 2 years, and no matter what Li Xinren said or how she rejected him, he still relentlessly fawned over her. What was even more infuriating was that he went around proclaiming that Li Xinren was his girlfriend. If it weren't for the fact that she didn't want everyone to know, Li Xinren would have already flipped the table with him. Is today your birthday?" Fang Heng hadn't realized the importance of the matter and asked in surprise. He hadn't expected that the very first day he met the school beauty would coincide with her birthday. Liu Mang then noticed Fang Heng, this uninvited guest. His heart exploded on the spot. He realized that Fang Heng was so close to Li Xinren, their skin was only 1 or 2 centimeters apart. He had been pursuing Li Xinren for so long, and Li Xinren still wouldn't let him sit so close to her. What right did this brat have? Liu Mang immediately said unfriendly, "Xinren, who is this? What's it to you?" Li Xinren frowned and said, "Would you believe me if I said he's my boyfriend?" Xinren, don't joke around. How could you find? Liu Mang laughed and stopped mid-sentence, his eyes widening as he stared at Li Xinren in disbelief. Holy crap, senior, she actually, oh my god, what a disaster, breaking news, big news in Kyoto. School beauty Li Xinren took the initiative to hold a man's hand, seemingly making it official. Lemons on the lemon tree. I'm so jealous. I regret not taking a picture just now. That guy's flirting skills are absolutely top-notch. He actually won the beauty's heart in one go. Don't be so happy so soon. Where is Senior Liu Mang? You know, the last one who dared to confess to Senior in public dropped out of school and went home a year ago. Indeed, it was precisely because of Liu Mang's existence that many men who admired Senior didn't make a move. After all, getting into Kyoto University wasn't easy, and no one wanted to drop out of school because of a confession. Fang Heng finally reacted, saying no. Actually, it's not Fang Heng's fault. The moment their fingers intertwined, he felt drunk. Li Xinren's hands were so wide and smooth, the feel was wonderful. For a moment, even just holding hands gave Fang Heng a jolt. Perhaps it was the culmination of years of honing his skills. You should let go of me first, Fang Heng said shyly, struggling to free his hands. Are all senior girls this open now? We've only just met. We haven't even spent half an hour together. Meanwhile, the onlookers had already started their gossip session. Wow, senior is so assertive, but I like it. I feel like I missed out on a fortune. If I had been next to senior when Liu Mang came over, instead of that black-faced guy, would I have been able to hold her hand too? Go to sleep, you can dream about anything. Look, senior Liu Mang's face has turned green. Ha, that's true. He was fantasizing about keeping senior as his own, not allowing anyone else to touch her, and now, sure enough, seeing this situation, Liu Mang was furious, but he didn't lash out at Li Xinren. Instead, he aimed at Fang Heng. Brother, I hope you can understand senior's momentary impulse. It wasn't easy for you to get into Kyoto University back then, please don't. Hearing this, Fang Heng looked at Liu Mang innocently and said, I didn't get into Kyoto University. What? PFFT. What kind of ridiculous answer is that? For the first time, Liu Mang was speechless, his face showing a mixture of emotions. What did you say? Then how did you end up here? I didn't get into Kyoto University, I came from the lab building. Before Liu Mang could speak, his lackey behind him laughed and said, so you're a janitor. I heard teacher Zhang say yesterday that a new janitor was hired, is that you? Ha, enough, can't you guys be a little more polite, as expected of the school beauty, the goddess in everyone's eyes, even when she's angry, she's so charming. And you, Liu Mang, you may have the surname Liu, but you're not a hooligan. Can't you control your people? Li Xinren raised her hands, which were intertwined with Fang Heng's, and waved them in front of Liu Mang, then said, I've already said he's my boyfriend, he's my boyfriend, he's my boyfriend, so can you please stop bothering me? Liu Mang couldn't accept this fact. Why? Xinren, you're lying to me, right? He's not your boyfriend, he doesn't deserve you, what do I lack compared to him? I've been pursuing you for 2 years. Li Xinren was still angry, and without saying another word, she pulled Fang Heng away. Hey, where are you taking me? I haven't finished eating yet. Hey, Liu Mang looked in the direction Li Xinren left, his eyes gradually darkening. No one knew what he was thinking, but everyone knew things weren't that simple. Meanwhile, Li Xinren pulled Fang Heng to a tree-lined path on campus before stopping. Sorry, just now, Fang Heng waved his hand and smiled. It's okay, you must really dislike that person. How do you know? Is that even a question? You were like a completely different person in front of him just now. Oh, ha. Li Xinren laughed, then took out a pack of tissues from her small bag and handed it to Fang Heng. Here, wipe yourself off. Thank you. Fang Heng took the tissues and wiped his face, like washing his face. This tissue smells so good. Fang Heng couldn't help but wipe around his nose a few more times. By the way, what's your name? Li Xinren turned around and was stunned when she saw Fang Heng. Li Xinren gave Fang Heng a wet wipe. After wiping his face, the dust that had accumulated in the lab was gone. You're Fang Heng. Li Xinren's mouth dropped open in disbelief. Chapter 48, There's a lot of trouble at the seniors' door. Fang Heng tops the rankings again. You're Fang Heng. Li Xinren's mouth dropped open in disbelief. Fang Heng paused, then replied rather perfunctorily, yes, I'm a fan of Fang Heng. PFFT, you're Fang Heng. You are Fang Heng himself. You're not a fan at all. Li Xinren ran back excitedly, grabbing Fang Heng's hand and saying with a face full of excitement. You really are Fang Heng. Ha, why didn't you say so earlier? I thought you were. Li Xinren looked at Fang Heng with a very resentful look. If it weren't for her stunningly beautiful face, Fang Heng would have definitely cursed her out. I told you I was Fang Heng. But you wouldn't believe me, and you insisted I was a fan of Fang Heng. What's even more outrageous is that you dragged me towards you. What? Boys need to be careful when they're out and about, you know what? You look so cool when you pilot your mecha. Even though you're not the most handsome man in the world, you really are when you pilot your mecha. How about it? Are you smitten? Li Xinren said shamelessly, but it's understandable, because no girl can resist a brave and handsome man. Even heroes can't resist the charms of a beautiful woman, which just goes to show that beauties have always loved heroes. Today is my birthday, and my biggest wish was to see you. I didn't expect my dream to actually come true. Fang Heng pouted. Are you implying that I should give you a gift? Today is your birthday, so I'll give you a gift, as a thank you for the meal, Fang Heng said, taking a glove out of his pocket. The glove looked ordinary, but it was very delicate and felt very comfortable to the touch. Did you make these yourself? Li Xinren took the gloves, examined them carefully, and then asked, what kind of fabric did you use? Why does it feel different from ordinary clothes? Fang Heng shrugged, offering no answer. These were Fang Heng's favorite gloves, he wouldn't give them away to someone who wasn't at least somewhat attractive. Alright, you should go back early too. I should be leaving as well. With that, Fang Heng turned and left. Li Xinren watched Fang Heng's figure, secretly making a decision. Fang Heng, I must win you over. I originally planned to find you after graduating from university, but fate brought us together at this university. Wait, why is he going that way? Could he be in the electrical engineering lab? Boom. Boom. A series of scenes flashed through Li Xinren's mind. Meanwhile, in the room, Liu Mang was angry about what had just happened. He was a very petty person, always holding a grudge. Today, Li Xinren would rather protect a janitor than give him face, leaving him standing there in front of so many people. His publicly acknowledged girlfriend ran off with another man in the cafeteria, making him feel incredibly humiliated. A green sheen on his head at this moment, a middle-aged man walked in, his scar on his face very prominent, giving off a powerful aura of oppression. Young master, I found the person I was investigating. Here's his information. The middle-aged man handed the information to Liu Mang, saying, Young master, this guy is called Fang Heng, the mecha manufacturer who caused such a stir online recently. Liu Mang was clearly shocked, reading through all the information in one go. He hadn't expected the janitor he spoke of to be such a monstrous figure. He remained silent for a moment. So what if you're a mecha manufacturer? You only have a small repair shop. No background. But what about me? I have the massive Liu group behind me. My father's word can shake the entire market economy. Uncle Kun, do me a favor, I want to ruin his reputation. Liu Mang crumpled the documents into a ball and said fiercely. Go. After hearing Liu Mang's plan, Uncle Kun was somewhat surprised. Young master, are you sure you want to do this? He received unanimous praise from Zhang Guojian and the others, and was even invited. What are you afraid of? I'll take responsibility if anything goes wrong. Besides, he hasn't agreed to join the research institute, so he's still just a nobody. Uncle Kun, find some skilled people. They won't be able to tell who he is. In the face of online public opinion, anyone can be scorned. Okay, young master, I'll get on it right away. The next day, a mysterious video went viral on major online platforms. Weibo, shocking. Mecha maker Fang Heng was actually a womanizer. Zhehu, Fang Heng has deceived many women in the past, and had relationships with many of them. Is it moral depravity or the tragedy of humanity? Daoyan, genius boy exposed overnight. Fang Heng is actually a time management master. This mysterious video circulated on virtually every platform with a bit of traffic. The most popular was on Li Xinren's school's campus forum. The video was commissioned by Uncle Kun at Liu Mang's request and was produced overnight with excellent technical skill. It would be difficult for anyone other than a top-tier academic researcher to detect that it was a composite or photoshopped image. The person who released the video was also a cyber expert, employing multiple anti-tracking methods such as IP proxies and MAC address spoofing during its release. To make the story more believable, Liu Mang even went so far as to bribe 8 girls to portray themselves as victims and attack Fang Heng online. Victim 1, Fang Heng and I used to be classmates. He had excellent grades. Back then, he often asked me to go to the woods. Victim 2, Fang Heng and I met online. When we met in person, he spent all my money and then dumped me. Victim 3, Fang Heng always praised me for being pretty, having thin legs, and a slender waist. He said he got a perfect score in biology and wanted to teach me biology himself, but who knew he would? Why? Victim 4. Victims. In an instant, a deluge of public opinion swept over Fang Heng. I thought he was a model student, I even admired him so much, turns out he's just a scumbag who deceives girls' feelings. HMPH, Fang Heng, you've disappointed me so much, how could you do such a thing? Oh ho, another time management master has appeared. Masters appear every year, but this year there seem to be more than usual. He's only 18 and already a master, so promising at such a young age? Scumbag, deceiving girls' feelings at such a young age? This kind of boy is despicable, how hateful. Fang Heng has manipulated so many girls. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 49. The culprit was actually him? Meanwhile, Liu Mang was lying on a spring mattress, smugly browsing the campus forum. Scumbag, scumbag. Who would have thought he'd be such a heartless monster? Holy crap, this guy in the video looks so much like the one with Senior Zinran in the cafeteria yesterday. Boom. Boom. It's him. It's Fang Heng. He actually laid his hands on our goddess Senior. What? Senior, how could you be with such a scumbag? Senior, you should really look him over carefully. You even loudly proclaimed him your boyfriend yesterday, but you didn't know he was just flirting with you. He'll ruin you. Compared to him, our senior Liu Mang is so much better, a million times better. Under the overwhelming influence of the online trolls, the comments were unanimously condemning Fang Heng. Fang Heng finally remembered to bring his phone to the cafeteria this time, but something felt off. Why were people around him commenting on him? Had they discovered his identity? Judging from their expressions. Oh well, why worry about it? I need to eat breakfast quickly. I still have to go back and do my research later. I wonder how old Zheng and the others are doing. Before he knew it, Fang Heng had arrived at the canteen. Once inside, he found even more eyes on him. What was wrong with these people today? Fang Heng was still completely baffled. After getting his breakfast, he was about to find a table to sit down and eat. But who would have thought that as soon as Fang Heng approached a table? That table used to be quite lively, but, seeing Fang Heng approaching, they grabbed their plates and left without a word. They acted as if they'd encountered some kind of lunatic. Fang Heng frowned, thinking, fine, I'll just find another table, but, when Fang Heng approached the next table, the same scene happened again. Those people avoided him like he was a lunatic. Damn, am I that scary? Why do you have to run away when you see me? Hey Junior, stay away from him. He's the guy in the video, the one who plays with girls' feelings. No way, no way, he's actually quite handsome. Hell, you can't judge a book by its cover. See? It's confirmed. Someone pulled out a video and compared it to Fang Heng in person. HMPH, I don't know how someone like him ended up in our school. Who knows if he didn't sneak in? He must have his eye on all the goddesses in our school. Yeah, I never imagined Fang Heng would be like this. Fang Heng, you've disappointed me so much. Although the people around him were talking very quietly, Fang Heng still heard some snippets and knew they were talking about him, but he didn't know the specifics. Hello, do we know each other? Fang Heng saw a girl staring intently at him, her eyes practically wanting to devour him, shaking. I don't know him. Get lost. I don't want to talk to this scumbag. The girl was furious. She hated nothing more than scumbags who toyed with girls' feelings, cheated them out of money and sex. Fang Heng's brows furrowed even more. It seemed he hadn't done anything since he got up. Why do I feel like you're targeting me? So what if I'm targeting you, you scumbag, you piece of trash? The girl seemed to unleash a torrent of words, instantly launching into a tirade. I never imagined that the genius boy I was so proud of not long ago would turn out to be such a scoundrel. Get out of my sight. I don't want to see you. The girl went ballistic. Every girl is afraid of being cheated on by a scumbag, of being manipulated by a scumbag, so they felt a strong connection to the video online. They empathized. The stronger their connection, the greater their hatred for Fang Heng. One stone stirs up 1,000 waves. With this girl leading the way, more and more people dared to speak up. They stopped discussing it quietly and started directly denouncing Fang Heng. Get out. Leave our school. Scum like you doesn't deserve to stay here. HMPH, this kid's skin is fucking thick. Everyone told him to get out. How dare he stay? Damn it, he's done so many disgusting and vile things, and now he's acting like it's none of his business. What a hypocrite. HMPH, someone like him deserves to be cursed 1,000 times, 10,000 times, but the most pitiful ones are those girls, those young girls in the prime of their lives. What if they're traumatized? PFFT. Fang Heng instinctively broke down. What a huge misunderstanding. Oh, no. It's slander. After listening to so much abuse, Fang Heng finally understood the whole story. It turned out he'd been slandered as a universally hated scumbag, and the kind who specifically manipulates young girls. Fang Heng tried to calm himself down. He knew the culprits weren't the people in front of him, but the one stirring things up from behind. He'd only been here 2 days and this had already happened. He hadn't offended anyone, except Liu Mang. Fang Heng remembered what had happened in this very cafeteria yesterday, and at this moment, Li Xinren also learned about the incident. True to her reputation as the school beauty and top student, she immediately suspected Liu Mang. No one else could it be but him. Liu Mang, come out here, come out, Li Xinren shouted outside Liu Mang's residence, ready to rush in and confront him. What? Xinren, did you miss me? Why did you suddenly come looking for me? Liu Mang opened the door, a wicked grin on his face. Li Xinren was furious and had no time for his idle chatter. She went straight to the point. I'm asking you, did you make that video? Did you slander Fang Heng? Furious Liu Mang, hearing that Li Xinren had come for this matter, remained silent and went back inside. Li Xinren quickly followed. I'm asking you a question, didn't I? So what if I did? So what if I didn't? Xinren, can't you tell how I've treated you these past 2 years? What do I lack compared to that brat? Tell me, what's so good about that brat? Liu Mang was indignant. He doesn't deserve you at all, Li Xinren, so you slandered him? You scum. How? Slander? Don't you know we live in the age of public opinion, the age of online trolls? Even if it's slander, it can become true. Chapter 50 The Amazing Smart Gloves, Becoming the School Beauty's Personal Bodyguard. How? Slander? Don't you know we live in the age of public opinion, the age of online trolls? Even slander can become true, Liu Mang said with a disdainful sneer. You? Li Xinren was both angry and resentful. She knew Liu Mang was despicable, but she didn't expect him to be this despicable. You'd better clarify this matter quickly, or I'll report you. How? You want to report me? Do you have any evidence? These days, everything is based on evidence. Liu Mang paused and continued. You don't have evidence to prove that I slandered him, but I have video evidence that he deceived an innocent girl. How? He'll be ruined, you bastard. Slap. Li Xinren stepped forward and slapped Liu Mang across the face. Liu Mang covered his red face with cold eyes. Li Xinren, I like you so much, and you hit me for someone unrelated. You hit me. A trace of blood appeared in Liu Mang's eyes. He was furious at this moment. As if losing all reason, he was overwhelmed by primal human impulses. He suddenly lunged forward and grabbed Li Xinren. Li Xinren was terrified and struggled to retreat. But Liu Mang's strength was too great. Li Xinren's small strength was no match for his restraint. Let me go, Liu Mang, let me go, you filthy scoundrel. Just then, beep beep, the ring on the glove Li Xinren was wearing suddenly emitted a few barely perceptible sounds and trembled slightly. Perhaps because Li Xinren's movements were so intense, she didn't even notice the glove's abnormality. Bastard, let me go. In desperation, Li Xinren struggled desperately to push Liu Mang away. But just as Li Xinren pushed, the glove ring on her hand trembled again. Then the entire glove emitted a faint white light, but the light was very weak, flashing by in an instant. The next moment, bang, Liu Mang was thrown 3 meters away. Thud, Liu Mang's body crashed into a chair, crushing it instantly. Xinren, Li Xinren, who had broken free of her restraints, was still extremely surprised. What was going on? She had thought it was a futile struggle, but how? Crash. Li Xinren, how could you? Liu Mang clutched a certain part of his body and struggled to his feet. He said angrily but incredulously, where did you get such strength, you bitch? Enduring the pain, he wanted to rush forward again. Li Xinren subconsciously raised her hands, trying to dodge. But at this critical moment, Li Xinren's glove ring moved again, revealing a small gap, from which 2 insects the size of flies flew out. One on each side. After flying out, they guarded Li Xinren on the left and right. Suddenly, a tiny red light burst from the eyes of the 2 little insects, shining directly onto Liu Mang's forehead. It hurts, Liu Mang, who had been rushing forward to teach Li Xinren a lesson, quickly covered his forehead. But, it still hurt. My hands. Startled, Liu Mang quickly retreated, managing to avoid the red light's pursuit. But the 2 beams of red light didn't disappear, they were just much gentler than before. The 2 little insects stayed near Li Xinren's shoulders, as if they were her guardian angels. Gurgle gurgle. Li Xinren mustered her courage and reached out her hands to look at the 2 little insects, but unexpectedly, they obediently landed on her hands. These gloves, Li Xinren had witnessed the whole scene. She hadn't expected that the gloves Fang Heng had given her would protect her at the crucial moment. Despite this, Li Xinren was more shocked and stunned. Fang Heng's gloves were far too extraordinary, possessing such powerful offensive capabilities. Wait a minute, Li Xinren suddenly remembered something. I remember pushing my roommate before, but why was my roommate unharmed, while Liu Mang, a small HUD with a big question mark? If a professional researcher had been present, they would have immediately recognized the gloves' extraordinary nature. In fact, these gloves were specially made by Fang Heng, incorporating multiple cutting-edge technologies, the most outstanding being the military nanotechnology used in the material fusion process. Of course, this technology is still under research on Earth. No country in the world has made significant progress, let alone put it into use. If those who have been working tirelessly day and night to develop such a technology knew that an ordinary female college student was already wearing top-tier nano gloves, they would be furious. These gloves have automatic detection capabilities, incorporating intelligent heuristic algorithms that can detect threats to the wearer in real time and react swiftly. Huff, huff, huff. Li Xinren tried to calm herself down, knowing that now was not the time to think about why. She took advantage of Liu Mang's inattention and quickly ran out. This place is too scary. Too scary. Meanwhile, the professors who had successfully figured out the high-energy battery technology were excitedly returning to Kyoto University to find Fang Heng. Ha ha ha, young friend Fang Heng, we're back. We've figured out all the blueprints you gave us, great job. As soon as he entered, Zhang Guojian said to Fang Heng very happily, and didn't forget to give him a thumbs up at the end. But Fang Heng didn't look up, but kept looking down at his phone, silent and expressionless. Young friend Fang Heng, what are you looking at? So engrossed, he walked over to take a look. But unexpectedly, Fang Heng suddenly turned off the screen. Nothing, I'm going out for a bit. After saying that, Fang Heng went outside again. Young friend Fang Heng, where are you going? Old Zhou, confused, was about to step forward to stop Fang Heng, but Zhang Guojian stopped him. Old Zhang, what are you doing? How could you? HMPH, Zhang Guojian gestured with his eyes, signaling him not to disturb Fang Heng any further. In fact, at this moment, Zhang Guojian's heart was already churning with shock. Although Fang Heng had acted quickly, Zhang Guojian had still seen something shocking. A mecha genius, actually manipulating 8 girls. Boom. Boom. Zhang Guojian felt his heart was about to explode. Damn it, which blind bastard is this? End of this chapter. Thank you so much for reading until the end. Don't forget to give it a like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription or donation encourages us to continue. Thank you all. See you in the next video.